All right. Okay. We're about to get started. We'll get started in about a minute. For those of you that are already on. All right. What's going on, everyone? We're going to let everybody start filing in. As you guys are coming in, tell me where you guys are coming from. I know that we've got people from all across the world. Someone noticed my guitar on the back. Yes, the guitar was in the guest room, but I moved it to the front because I am getting reacquainted with music because I've got a little bit more time on my hands. So go ahead and share with where you guys are from. We got Chicago. Wow, there are a lot more people on here than I thought. All right. So we got Denmark, Chicago, Wisconsin, Jeff from Houston, Texas, AJ O'Brien from Northern Virginia, Dirk from Colorado. How is everybody doing today? All right. Got Michelle from Colorado, Clint from Tulsa, Letitia, Paul from San Francisco, Nat from New Jersey, Carol from Spain, Steve from San Antonio, Ellen from the UK, Indonesia. Well, this is a worldwide conference we have here today. And as everyone is pouring in, we've got Layla from Miami. How you doing, Layla? And Anne from the UK. All right. So today in this conversation that we're having today, this is going to be a little bit different from the webinars that you are used to. In this webinar, there is absolutely nothing to purchase. Actually, today I just want to be in full service mode for everyone on this call. Clint asked where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Chicago today, and I've also got my team on here. I've got Sam Goodman, who is part of the identity or from the Invincible Academy, and also we have Josh as well. And we are going to get started in just a moment here from Newport Beach. All right, got a bunch of attendees. I'm going to get Sam in here as a panelist and Josh on here too. Wow, there are a lot of people on here. Okay. For everyone here, I am Spencer Burnett, and this right here, my buddy Sam, who is also a coach for the Invincible Academy. We're pulling on Josh right now, who is our community manager. So for those of you who are, Josh, I'm promoting you as a panelist. Those of you who are in our Identity Imprinting Facebook group, you guys will see Sam and Josh on there. I'm gonna pull up my notes here for you guys, and we will get started. We will get started shortly. Sam, can you share with me the doc that oh, it's right here. Perfect. All right. Let me get to everyone else's, to the chat here. All right, perfect. So I can see everybody. All right. We are going to, we're going to get started here. Let me move my screens. If you guys see me looking over here, that is me looking at all of your guys' comments. And today is going to be a little bit different than a typical webinar that you're used to. Like I said, today is not about selling you guys an offer or a program. I certainly have group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and programs that I have. But this really is about being in service to all of you. As most of you are in the United States, and I guess, you know, from across the world, We're all in a very unique situation right now where the collective consciousness of humanity for the first time in our lifetimes is all focused on the same thing. And that is the real fear of the coronavirus and the effect that it has on our world. And simultaneously, as we're all focusing on the same thing, we're all connected by the same thought. We're also all separated because the best way to fight this thing is for us to isolate ourselves, to separate ourselves from each other. And so we're simultaneously in this weird situation where we are more connected than ever, but also more separated than ever. And that creates a lot of chaos in our lives. Everything in our lives has changed. The way that we work on a day-to-day basis, our schedules, what we focus on, what we pay attention to, what we worry about, what we value, what we deem to be important. Every one of those things, whether it is shifted in a small way or a large way, it has changed. And because of that, it's created a lot of disturbance in the way that we behave. I personally have been quarantined for 3 weeks. And the first week of the quarantine, I started noticing all of my monsters coming up, all of my bad behaviors, all of the things that I struggle with. I noticed myself smoking more weed, eating more junk food, spending an insane amount of time on social media. And I was sitting, after that first week, I was sitting here and I asked my friend, I was like, why is it so difficult to focus? Why is it so hard to think about one thing at a time? And the reason that is all this chaos that has gone on, it has really shifted our vision for our lives, our intentions for our lives, our focus of our lives for at least the next 3 months, probably a lot longer than that. And so because it's changed the way that we've focused, we need to make this adjustment in order for us to be able to not only survive this without going stir crazy, without becoming anxious or depressed or our lives falling apart. Not only do we have to survive by avoiding all of those things, but this is actually an opportunity for us to come out of this situation, out of this pandemic, stronger than we would have been if this whole thing never happened. And the way that we're able to do this is to be able to cut through the noise. And because we all on this call, we're from all different places in the world. I see we've got 167 people on this call, which is way more than I anticipated. So I'm going to have to adjust my approach here a little bit. But we all have two things in common. One, we are all in this pandemic together. And two, we all have a particular vision for our lives. And that vision is unique to each and every one of us. But the thing that is all the same is that in our lives, we are trying to create by bringing our internal world, our imagination, our intentions, the things that we have inside of us, and bringing it to external reality. And that's what I want to show you how to do in the most effective, efficient, precise way today. Now, my mentor, David Mailer, says that gravity is fierce. And so what that actually means is that we all have our own agendas. We all have our own intentions, whether it's to raise a family, to be really healthy, to connect with our friends, or it is to build a business, or it's to live our passion through our job, or to contribute to society through our jobs. We all have our own intentions, our own roadmap of how we get from point A to point B. But we're all on this planet together, which means that there are 7.5 billion other people with their own intentions that might not match up with yours. We also have society as a whole with their own intention, with politics, with different with different groups, with different religions, with different countries. Everyone has their own intentions, and now our environment has its own agenda as well. The environment has created this virus that has its intention that is interfering with all of our plans and our strategy to get from point A to point B. And so the gravity that is so fierce has now tripled, quadrupled, maybe 10x'd. And when the gravity starts to fall on us, it causes us to shrink. That's what it does. When you feel that pressure from the outside coming in, it causes us to shrink. And so there's one of two ways that we can navigate through this. One, use our willpower to overcome that gravity. I got news for you. Willpower is a limited resource. We only have so much of it until our spirit is broken and we just succumb to the winds of our environment, the weather of the universe, of our experience, of our external reality. Or we can learn how to catch the wave and get into the flow of our environment and navigate towards our vision, whatever that is for you specifically, in that way. And I'm curious for everybody here, what is your mission? What is your vision? What is your big, hairy, audacious goal with your life? I want to see that in the comments here and see what you guys are doing in the world. What is the big vision that you guys have? And as those are coming in, I also want to know, with every big vision comes a big challenge. Every hero's journey has a huge challenge. So after you share what your vision is, I want to hear what the biggest challenge that you are experiencing right now is, that you're experiencing in trying to accomplish that vision. David says he wants to be a healer. Brandon says, hey, B, what's up, buddy? So he wants to travel the world and do cool shit with awesome people. Carrie wants to live her purpose. AJ wants to use the law of attraction to enhance the world's well-being. Carrie says, help others heal. Nat says, be a jazz superstar. Awesome. Deniz, I might be pronouncing it wrong. Just going to let you guys know I'm severely dyslexic. So if I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize for that. Is to get my first Netflix special. Nidra says to support people living authentically in alignment with health, mental, physical lifestyles. Fidel says to empower. Renee says to clear my shit and help others clear theirs. Oh, this is awesome, guys. And I'll tell you, with everyone's vision here, everything that I'm seeing, everything from being a successful hypnotist to supporting people living authentically, even to getting a Netflix special. Right now, the world needs your medicine more than ever. And so it is so important that we stick together and that we empower ourselves to continue on our mission, even in the toughest times. And that's what I'm going to show you guys today, how to do that using precise language. Now, I want to give you guys in this chat that we're having today, and I really want this to be a chat. And so I want you guys to stay on until the end, because we're going to do some hot seat precise language coaching, which is going to be an absolute game changer. When I did this with David, about 3 years ago. A lot of you guys come from David Snyder's community. And I met David through my buddy Brandon, who's also on the call. What up, B? Thank you so much for setting this up, by the way. For all of you who are connected through David's community, Brandon is the one responsible for connecting us together. So we are also grateful to you. And David is, for those of you who don't know, is an incredible NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, and overall healer and general badass. And he's been doing NLP and hypnosis for over 30 years. And I shared with him that I have this language modality that is going to change the world. And it is something that Joe Dispenza doesn't have, that Tony Robbins doesn't have, that really no one has had it over the past 30 years, which is a brand new, original way to use language for conscious creation. So I did a session with David, and it was scheduled to be an hour and a half. And after the first 20 minutes, David was like, oh, wow, this is fantastic. I was helping him through a challenge with his business, and he was able to get clarity just like that. And we'll be sharing that with you guys today. Now, today is a little bit different than I had anticipated. I wasn't anticipating 180 people all across the world to show, and I'm so appreciative that you guys are here. And like I said, I'm totally here to serve. And by the way, I have all night, so as long as you guys want to stay on, I'm going to be here doing hot seat coaching with you guys. And by the way, when you experience someone else getting the healing from precise language and the vision and the strategy, It's healing for everybody. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys that you know that you want some support in figuring out what your next steps are, figuring out how you're going to get through this quarantine and what happens after that. If you know that you want that support, I'm going to drop a link in the description or in the chat here. Josh, if you can publish that link. And I've got 20 spots to meet with you guys one-on-one. Typically, this is something that I charge $200 for. And in these times, especially for all of you in the healing arts and in the coaching space, and even those of you who aren't, right now is the time to move the free line. Services, efforts, however your form of service, this is the time for us to move that free line for the things that we once charged for us to move that forward a little bit. Because like I said, the world needs our medicine more than ever. The thing that scares me more than the virus itself is the way that this is going to mess with people's mental health. Because we're only a couple weeks into this quarantine. And at first, kids are like, oh, free week off of school. But after 2-3 weeks pass by, it's really going to settle in that we're in this for the long haul. And what I have found through the over 200 individual conversations that I've had in the past 2 weeks is what this pandemic is doing for us is it's bubbling to the surface who we truly are. It's magnifying who we are. And it's creating an environment where all of the little monsters that we've been able to use the distractions of work and going out and having fun and all of those things are no longer an option. And so all of these things are starting to bubble up. So now is the time for you to focus on yourself and to do the things that we always knew that we needed to be doing in the first place that we never really thought we had time for. And now that we have time for it and we see that we're not doing it, we're starting to realize that it wasn't lack of time that was stopping us from being the people that we wanted to be. It was actually the things that we had going on inside. And in this precise language modality that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to show you how to cut through all that crap and get to the root of it so you know exactly what's standing in your way and exactly what your next step is to get exactly what you want. So Josh has put the link to to booking a call with me. If that's something that you guys want to do. I know that we've got a lot of people on here. I do have limited space for that, but I do want to sit with you one-on-one for 45 minutes to an hour and help you strategize the 3 steps that we need to take in order to thrive through this quarantine. Typically, when I step into a conversation with someone, I ask them what needs to happen in the next year in order for you to feel like it's the best year ever. And once this quarantine hit, I had that conversation with someone and it was absolutely a mess, because how are you supposed to anticipate a year when you don't know what tomorrow looks like? And so what I've noticed is that we need to focus on 3 different steps to get through this. So we kind of have to change our approach to our vision and actually see our vision in 3 separate gears. The first step is, what are you going to do right now to get yourself back into rhythm? Because all of the external things that were holding us accountable to waking up on time and to exercising and to going to work, all of those are gone. And so we are only accountable to ourselves. Now, how many of you, and you can share with me in the chat by just saying yes, how many of you always make every appointment that you're scheduled to make that you agreed to meet on, but when it comes to scheduling with yourself to do your workout or to do your meditations or to do your practices, that you're not as reliable? I know that is certainly me. And you are the most important person that you have in your life. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. And what this pandemic has done is it's magnifying the relationship that we have to our own word. And I'm going to show you how to get into better relationship with that. So, and Josh, if you can periodically put the link to the connection call with me, because I know that we're getting a lot of comments, but I want people to be really present, and so they don't have to scroll down in order to book a call. One more thing before we get started. Also, we have a private Facebook group as well. where everything in there is free. My team is in there every single day to be doing trainings on to help you structure your thoughts, structure your day, get out of breakdown. And by the way, the precise language demonstration that I'm going to do for you today, we do periodically through that as well. So you can go and click on the link. Josh or Sam will drop it for you here, and join that Facebook group to get ongoing support, because I'm fully committed to helping everyone that needs it get the support that they need in order for them to make it through this pandemic. So before we get started, I'm going to kind of share with you my personal journey through healing and how I got to this point to discover this insane, powerful language modality called precise language. When I was 4 months old, I got my very first high-grade fever. And as just a little infant baby, I was at a super high temperature, upwards to 106.5 degrees. And this would happen to me every 4 to 6 months for the first, every 4 to 6 weeks for the first 10 months of my life. And my mom kept going to the doctor and saying, something is wrong, something is wrong. And she actually put the phone up to my infant screams saying, tell me this is normal. And at 10 months, I was diagnosed with periodic fever syndrome. I believe I was the 14th person diagnosed with it. And essentially what that means is every 4 to 6 weeks, I got a high-grade fever that caused me to often black out from pain, be physically tortured, not being able to eat, not being able to sleep, not being able to move, and even the most intense opioids and medications did nothing for my pain. Through my life, I've had over 200 high-grade fever. I've been tortured over 200 times. And the one gift that I was born with this, it felt like a curse, but turned out to be an opportunity. But the gift that I truly had was 2 parents that were relentless in my healing. And so through my first 8 years of my life, I had been to every type of doctor that you can imagine. I was at Children's Hospital. I went to Amish doctors. I went to Indian doctors. I went to I went to a prayer circle where 400 people laid their hands on me and prayed. I went to homeopathists, oxygen therapy, cupping therapy. I went gluten-free. I was drinking wheatgrass juice and doing all that stuff before it was hip. This was the 80s, right? I had been to over 100 different types of doctors trying to find some type of relief for this massive, treacherous, regular pain that I was experiencing. And when I was 8 years old, I was brought to this clinical psychologist that was doing a study on guided imagery for children in order for them to manage their pain. And that's the first time that I was introduced to NLP, being able to rewire your mind to change your external reality. And this was the only thing that I found relief. And looking back on that, I realized that at that time that I discovered that my internal reality was more real than my external reality. That when I shifted my internal reality, I was able to do what all of collective Western medicine could not do for me, which was relieve my pain. And since then, I've been using guided imagery and NLP to heal both myself and those around me. And I'm happy to say when I turned 30 years old, I was developing this precise language modality that I'm sharing with you guys today. And I was able to build a new relationship with that monster. And on April 7th, that's a couple weeks from now, I turned 37 years old, and it's been 7 years since I've had a fever. And so if I can physically change the relationship that I have to a disease that no one can figure out, then I fully believe that you also can get through whatever you're going through, whether it's this pandemic that's the biggest stress on you, or it's something that's even more serious. You have the power inside of you to overcome anything and thrive through it. Everything that you need to know in order for you to succeed in your vision, for you to live out the mission why you were put here on this planet, is already inside of you. The issue is access. And that's what precise language gives you, is access to that inner wisdom. I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. I'm seeing here a couple questions before we get into this next time. All right. So it looks like we're having some challenges in booking spots. Josh, if you can just manage that for me. Let's see. Okay. All right. And we're gonna get to the next part of the call, which is to explain to you precise language. So in precise language, what I'm going to show you right now is we're going to go over how conscious creation works. And then after that, we're going to go into the one thing that helps you manage all of the things at the same time. How many of you feel like completely exhausted by having to be reactive to spinning all of the plates that you have going on? So as you're spinning one plate and you spin the next plate, you spin the next plate, you spin the next plate, then this one starts to wobble, and then you're constantly paying attention. And it gives you no time for yourself. There's no time to center. There's no time for you to like live your life. But what if I told you there was one thing that you could do that made all of those plates spin simultaneously? That's what I'm going to show you in the second part. And then in the third part, I'm going to give you the rules of precise language. And then for those of you that are still on, we're going to start pulling people on the call. We're going to be able to hear your voice. And if you want, see your face on this call. And we're going to drop into a laser coaching session to help you through the biggest challenges that you want. And I will show you how to do that using precise language and what I call the 5 pillars of progress. The only 5 questions that you ever need to ask to make sure that you are continuously making progress towards your vision. You guys ready for this? Give me a heck yes. And you can even give me a hell yes if you want to let me know that you guys are ready for this. I'm also seeing that people are having challenges with booking a call. So I'm also going to help you manage that right now as well. So coaching session, touch point call. See if this one works for you guys. Fantastic. All right, I got another link for you guys. I got you. Don't you worry. I'm gonna post it in here. Josh, copy and paste this. And this will, it's booked for 30 minutes, but I will be sure that I book 45 minutes for you guys. You can use that link as well. So I wanna make sure that all of you get a strategy session with me because I wanna serve you. All right, so here we go. Everyone is ready. Everyone is ready to go. How about a F-bomb? Yes. Okay. Oh, and Layla says C. Okay, I get it. All right. So the universe is split up into 5 levels of consciousness. Okay. And the level of consciousness is basically the levels of which it exists. So the first level is Earth. These are your trees, your plants, your vegetables, and rocks and stuff like that. They simply just exist. They're made of genetic material and they simply exist. If you've got a tree outside that doesn't get any sun, it can't choose to move to the next block or a few yards over to get more. It's just a byproduct of its own environment. The second level of consciousness are creatures, like my dog Mojo or a squirrel outside. Right? They're made out of genetic material, just like the 1D consciousness creatures, but they also have instinct and the ability to move. So if a squirrel outside isn't getting enough food, they can choose to go a mile down, down the road and find food that way. Now, the third level is humans. Now, humans are made out of genetic material. They also have the ability to move, but humans have this unique this unique ability called language. Now, language is different than communication because language has grammar, and grammar allows you to live in 2D time. See, like my dog Mojo, he lives in 1D time. He can only worry about the now. He can't get excited about his birthday in May, which he turns 15. He can't be sad about a friend that he had 10 years ago. He just lives in the now, 1D time. Humans can use grammar, which means that we can learn from the past and we can anticipate the future. The next level are is the ethereal world. This is where your thoughts live. This is where your emotions live. And this is where all of the entities in your mind, like when you are speaking, like when you're speaking to yourself, like who's speaking and who's listening? Ones that are speaking, the way that I see that, are either your angels or your monsters, the voices in your head, your spirit guides that communicate to you through either joy, happiness, or pain and fear. And your angels operate under communicating through the emotion of happiness, and your monsters communicate through the emotion of fear. And the fifth level is the universe, or God, or everything, whatever language that you want to use, but everything in that is the 5D. Okay, it is what is, right? And so the way that creation works is it starts from the unlimited potential, the unlimited access to everything, which is 5D. It drops into 4D, which is a thought, and then drops into 3D, which is language or a plan, and then drops into 2D, which is action, and then creates 1D, which is the result. Everything ever created in the history of anything was created through this 5D process, starting from 5D down to 1D. Now, this chair that I'm sitting on, interestingly enough, started out as someone's thought. Someone at some point in time was sitting on the ground and was saying, you know what? This sucks. I'm not comfortable. You know what would be nice is if I was able to sit up, if I was able to lean back, and if it was soft and like had a spring on it so it like supported my back. And so the emotion of discontent became an idea, a thought, a brainwave. And that thought turned into language. You know what would be great is if I had something to sit on. And through that language, they created a plan. All right, I'm gonna need some metal. I'm gonna need some leather. I'm gonna need some stitches and whatever else this chair is made. And then, as if any of you have put together IKEA furniture, that plan became actions. Step 1, insert this to this. Step 2, screw that into that. And once you got through that plan, you end up with a chair. So everything ever in the history of anything started out as a thought. And what we know about quantum physics, the question was, what is 5D? 5D is everything. So me, I'm Spencer. This is also Spencer. It's my hand, but it's also Spencer. Everything here is Spencer. So you kind of see that as 5D. 5D is everything. Just think of it as of the entire universe. And actually, I'm sorry, Sam and Josh, you guys can answer those questions, and then I'm going to stay in flow here. So what we know about quantum physics is that all particles are waves and all waves are particles. And so your thoughts actually have a physical weight to them, just like this phone does. And so actually, if you collected all of the atomic weight of all of your thoughts throughout the course of your life, it would weigh about as much as a mosquito, but it would have physical mass nonetheless. And the waves of your thoughts turn into the vibration of your voice, turns into the vibration of your actions, and actually turn into a thing. And so when we have this vision for our lives, it starts as a thought, becomes a plan, turns into action, and then becomes a thing. And if you have not created the result of your action, or the result of your vision, one of those things is messed up. And the crazy awesome thing about language is the tool that we use to be able to audit this process to see what's going wrong with it. And the best part about being a human is that humans are the only beings known in our universe that have the ability to simultaneously live all 5 densities or dimensions of existence in one single container, because we all have the ability to access the unlimited knowledge of the universe. We all have the ability to be spiritual and emotional. We all have the ability to use language to connect. We all have the ability to move. We all have the ability to physically be. No other creature in the universe has that ability. And we get this opportunity to 100 years, if we're lucky, out of 14.8 billion years, we get 100 years to make a freaking difference, to create something, to take the gifts and the opportunities that we've been given and to create something more so the generations after us can create from that. We all create on the shoulders of the generations that came before us. The question is, how fast can we move? And how fast we can move is contingent upon how high we rise in our opportunity of our lives. That's why this is so serious, because the progression of humanity depends on whether you live out your vision. And we're all here for different reasons. Now that we understand that how conscious creation works, and we understand that we need these elements. So what are these elements that we need in order for us to create? Well, we need an idea. We need a vision, 5D, okay? We need to sort out the emotions to help point our compass, due north. And the things that we feel, the things that we feel compelled to do are the things that we're called to do through our emotions. Then we have a plan, a strategy. How are we going to go about doing this? How are we going to live our daily lives? What are the elements that we need in place? What resources do we need in order to create this? And then that turns into action, the things that we do every day, and then we get the result. So this is the way that the game is played. Now, the thing is that our language keeps us hidden from the problems that are actually causing this. We'll get into that a little bit later. What I want to get into now is the mechanism. Once you have that plan in place, that strategy in place, which, by the way, all of you that have booked that call with me, I'm going to help you come up with a strategy. Because once you come up with that strategy, all you need to do is execute. And at that point, it is only a matter of time before you get exactly what you want. And at that point, once you have the strategy, there's only one thing that matters. And this is the secret sauce. The one thing that you need to focus on that makes everything in your life better. We have so many things to think about: our health, our relationships, our businesses, our income, our families, everything from to cleaning the house. We have all these things to think about, and it's chaotic. So what is the one thing that makes everything work? Put in the comments what you guys think that thing is. Well, I take a sip of my coffee. I hear love, focus, patience, language, belief, energy, mindset, relentless determination. I like it. Passion, execution, passion, imagination, intention, desire. I haven't heard it yet. And to my team, or those of you who know me well, don't put it in there. I want to. Vibrations, mental health, feel good now, emotion, fulfillment. Ooh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Faith, feelings, me. Okay, getting good. Intention, gratitude, connection, vision, emotions. Haven't heard it yet. Mission. Nah. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you what it is. It is integrity. Integrity, as I define it, is your intentions, your commitments, and your actions all being the same thing. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, all being the same thing. 4D, 3D, 2D creates 1D. Your mission, 5D, aligned with your intentions, aligned with your commitments, aligned with your actions, gives you the result that you want. And so we focus on our integrity. Thoughts, words, actions, all being the same thing. Now, integrity is not a binary thing. It's not a thing that you have or that you don't have. Integrity actually is on a spectrum. And the thing is about humans that's interesting is we sensitize ourselves to our integrity based on whether the external world will punish us or not. So I'll give you an example. So if we are supposed to have lunch at noon, and say, Spencer, given that we're not having a quarantine, let's call it our call. All right. If we're supposed to have our call together, we'll make it, appropriate for these times. We're supposed to have a call at noon, and I show up at 12:01. Most likely you're not going to be like, Spencer, what the heck? You said 12 and you showed up late. I can't trust you. You're not a man of your word. Like, most likely you're not going to really think anything of it. But if I show up at 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, and you're just sitting there on the call waiting, and 12:45 I show up, you better believe that I'm going to show up with my tail between my legs being like, oh my gosh, I'm really going to get it. And because like there is some point between 12 o'clock and 1 second and 12:45 where you are going to kind of give me shit for being late. Right. So here's the thing. Everyone has this gauge, and we usually gauge it based on based on whether the external world will punish us or not. I make this joke. This is why beautiful women are so often very late. Because the external world does not typically punish beautiful women the way that they punish everybody else. And so the thing is that once you sensitize yourself to your integrity in a way that is more sensitive than where you feel that guilt and make the adjustment before the external world will punish you, at that point, the external world sees you as perfect, even though you're not. They see you that way. And so I'll let you guys know this. When I have a call, if I get a call at 1 o'clock, I literally sit at 12:58 and I wait till 12:59, 12:59 and 50 seconds, 51 seconds, 57 seconds, 58, 59, and I hit it on the second. Because when you measure in seconds, when you're off 10%, you're off by 10 seconds. But if you measure your integrity by minutes, you're off 10 minutes. And so every human has this range of which this percentage off their integrity that they operate on. And when you sensitize yourself to that, you're more accurate. Measure by millimeters, you're off 10%, you're going to be off the bullseye by this much. If you measure in meters and you're off 10%, you're off the bullseye this much. And so I'm going to give you guys an exercise that shows you how to sensitize your integrity and how to manage your integrity once it's broken. Because once you have got your integrity down, we all know that we're gonna break down. We all know that at some point we're going to fall off our integrity. And I'm going to show you what to do in the meantime. So here we go. All right. So yes, Elle or Ellie, this will be on replay. I'm going to send you guys an email. Don't worry about taking notes. I'm definitely going to send you guys this on the replay. Also, it's going to be on our Identity Imprinting Facebook group right now as well. So Josh, if you could drop a link for the Facebook group so they can join, and we can give you the support that way. All right. So here's how we sensitize ourselves to our integrity. I'm picking up my thumb. I'm putting down my thumb. Picking up my thumb, I'm putting down my thumb. In this moment, I am perfect. By my definition, a sin is when you are out of integrity. Because if you tell me that you're going to punch, if you feel like punching me in the face and you say, I'm going to punch you in the face, and then you punch me in the face, you're in integrity. You're an asshole, but you are in integrity, right? And so when I say I'm picking up my thumb, I'm putting down my thumb, my intentions, my words, and my actions are all the same in real time. But watch this. I'm picking up my thumb, putting down my thumb. I'm picking up my thumb. In this moment, I'm in sin or out of integrity. And what I'm trying to do here is when I say I'm picking up my thumb, I'm trying to feel the guilt that I feel when I said I was going to show up at noon and I show up at 12:45, sensitizing myself to my break of integrity. Because you see, guilt and pain, objectively, all that it is it's a signal to your consciousness for you to pay attention to get back into alignment of your integrity or to pivot your plan. Pain, guilt, all of it is a gift. You just need to understand how to interact with it. And I'm going to show you how to interact with it right here, and then we'll get into the precise language. I'm picking up my thumb. So internally, I feel that guilt, and the guilt is the trigger, okay? Feel the guilt, okay? And then I say to myself, I feel guilty. Well, Spencer, what would you like to do about it? Well, I'd like to feel better. Well, what do you need to do to feel better? I need to be in integrity of my word. Okay, do that. Okay, I'm picking up my thumb. I'm putting down my thumb. I'm picking up my thumb. I'm putting down my thumb. Now, the moment that I get back in integrity, I allow that guilt to flow through me like wind through a screen door. This is what we call forgiveness. And when you can, what we know about fundamentals, whether it's, doing a layup or doing a putt or anything fundamental, is once you can master something at its most sensitive level, then you can start to scale that and handle it on higher levels. So once you're able to master forgiveness in this controlled environment, because if I say I'm picking up my thumb and I don't, no person's going to be like, oh, Spencer, you're not trustworthy. You're not a man of integrity. Like, there's no external punishment for this. This is why it sensitizes you to your integrity based on your own internal feeling and not on the external punishment, because no one's going to punish you for not picking up your thumb when you say. So as soon as I say I'm picking up my thumb and I get back into it, and I get back into flow state, I get back into joy. So once you have a vision and you've created a strategy for that vision, then and you make a plan to implement that strategy, then all that matters is integrity. That's it. So every single day, the way that I operate my time is I live in time boxes. My schedule is nothing but time boxes. In fact, I can show it to you guys right here. Give you a little insight to Spency B's world. Here's my schedule. This is what this week looked like for me. Okay. I see a lot of you guys have already booked some calls here. And so in each one of these is a time box, a box of time or a container of time of which I am singularly focused on that thing at hand. See, to get into flow state, we feel like we need to activate our brains. It's actually not true. To get into flow state, we actually need to shut down every part of the brain that is unnecessary and activate the one part of the brain that is required in order to get that task done. And so when it's time for me to be here right now, this is all I care about. My phone is off. I have no notifications coming in. I'm here with you, and this is all that matters to me. And so all I need to do is I need to live in integrity of those time boxes, and I know that I will accomplish what it is that I need to accomplish. There's further training on how to build your schedule like that in our Identity Imprinting Facebook group. We can go over that, and if you guys want like a training on that, I can certainly do another training on how I actually measure whether I'm in integrity. But we can pin that. If that's a training that you guys want to see, just let me know in the comments, and then Sam and Josh will pass that on to me. All right. So once you're in integrity, right, now the only thing that can go wrong is the confusion of what's the plan? How come I'm not behaving the way that I want to behave? Why am I stuck in procrastination? Why am I stuck in breakdown? Why am I not getting the results that I want? Now, we use language in order to figure this out. This is why we see therapists. This is why we talk to our friends. But what we don't know is we're using language in a way that creates shadows in our vision that make it almost impossible for us to figure out what our next step is. Because that's all you need to know. What is your next step? Because as long as you know your next step, you focus on that, you do that, and then ask yourself, what's the next step? But we use language in a way that creates this shadow. So the way that we actually sorry, I got distracted by Spencer. This is an incredible gift, time commitment that you've given us. You are so very welcome, Fran. It is my pleasure to be here with you guys tonight. So the way that we take action is mainly through our subconscious telling us what to do. 80 to 90% of our actions taken every day are due to our subconscious programming. Our subconscious programming is basically made up of a series of beliefs that tell us what to do. The way that we make beliefs is we have an image in our mind, we have an emotion associated to that, and that creates a belief, which then provokes action. I see ice cream, I feel like ice cream is delicious, I love ice cream, therefore if ice cream's in front of me, I eat ice cream. But what happens to us is we use certain language called voids that create an illusion of an image. It's almost a hologram. So we think that we can see what we're talking about, but there's no image. But we're operating under the assumption that there is. So all there is an emotion and an assumed belief, and then we operate merely on the emotion. This is what causes us to be reactive. And when our emotional state and the chaos inside exceeds our ability to handle it, we start using language that creates voids in the language. Can you guys give me like a thumbs up if you're tracking me here? Because I'm about to show you how precise language works. Ooh, it's getting good. It's getting good. All right. And we got a crazy retention rate here. We still got 200 people, 200 people on this live. There is no thing that I would rather be doing right now. And before I get into this, I always say to my clients, it's like, how you know that you are in the right place in the right time is ask yourself, if I had $100 million cash in the bank, what would you be doing right now? What would I be doing right now? I would be here with you having this conversation, because this is why God put me on this planet, is to share this with all of you. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Like, take a gift that God's given you, or the universe has given you, whatever you want to use, and freaking just share that. All right, so here is how precise language works. Pretty simple. 3 simple steps: speak up, speak clear, speak precise. Now, speak up's really easy, right? It's like, use your words. If you don't use your words, then you're basically just an animal. You're just a reactionary creature that's operating off of instinct and emotion, right? When my dog hears the doorbell ring, he barks, just because that's how dogs react to doorbells, right? So he's just an animal. He can't reason himself out of it. So speak up is step 1. Step 2 is to speak clear. Now, speaking clear is about removing voids out of your language. Now, what voids do is they empower us. They give us this sense that we're actually communicating when we're not. We're talking, but we're not saying anything. And this is why, no offense to any therapist out here, there's lots of value to therapy. And but this is why we need to go to therapists, every week for like the rest of our lives, because a lot of times we use language, but we're not actually saying anything. And so in our demonstration, I want you guys to be sure to stay on, because I'm going to be calling you. I'm going to be doing some laser coaching, and what typically you can get figured out in an hour, we can do it in 10 minutes. And the cool thing about precise language is it works 100% of the time. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've done thousands of precise language sessions, and it works 100% of the time. So I'll give you an example. So precise language is a knowledge transfer tool. So there's 2 ways to transfer knowledge: from my mind to your mind, or my mind to someone else's mind, or from my higher self, the 5D, 4D version of me, down to my consciousness. And so when we're trying to sort out our own minds, what we're wanting is transfer from our higher selves that has infinite wisdom down to our consciousness, just so we can know what we want to do. But I'm going to make this a little bit more visceral and talk about knowledge transfer from one person to the next. So in this example, I want you to see me as in this example as the higher level consciousness, and you as like the human version of you. So let's say me and you are supposed to go to a party, and everyone's waiting for us to get there, right? Everyone's super excited. We're supposed to be there in 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, you know what? I forgot my keys. Can you go to my house and grab my keys? And you're like, all right, Spence. Okay. So you come into my house, come into the back door over here, right there. And you're like, all right, Spence, where are the keys? And I'm like, okay, they are not in the kitchen. And they're not in the living room. They're not in the laundry room. They're not in the guest room. They're not in the nook. They're not in the bathroom. And you're like, okay, well, there's only one other room in here. Like, all right, I'm in your room, Spencer. Where are they at? Like, okay, they're not on my desk. They're not on my bed. They're not in my bathroom. They're not underneath the bed. They're not in my pillowcases. They're not in my closet. They're not in my suit coat jacket. They're not in my pants. You're like, gosh, Spencer, just tell me where they're at. And I'm like, I am telling you where they're at. Hold on one second. They're not underneath the floorboards. They're not in my drawers. At some point, you're going to be super frustrated and be like, Spencer, just tell me where they are. I'm like, I am telling you where it is. You're like, no, you're not. I'm like, I've been talking to you for 10 minutes, telling you where they are. It's like, well, how come I haven't found them yet? You've been talking, but you haven't been saying anything. Because the intention is to take the image in my head of where the keys are and use language for you to be able to take action to get those keys so we can get to the party. At some point, you're just going to hang up the phone and be like, screw it, Spencer. I'm going to go find those keys. You're going to ransack my room, just tearing everything up, and you may or may not find my keys. And if you do, you'll probably have to destroy my room to find it, and it'll take you 2 hours. So finally, you get the keys. You show up. We're late to the party. I'm pissed at you. You're pissed at me. I come back home. I'm like, what the heck did you do to my room? You're like, you told me to find your keys. I said, I told you to find my keys, not to destroy my room. Now the relationship between us is broken. The relationship that we had to the people that we were supposed to go to the party with, that's broken. And my room is destroyed. This is what happens to us constantly. When we have an intention to do something, we get into this conversation with ourselves, and it breaks down. And at some point, we hang up the phone. We start ignoring that inner voice. We start pushing it down. And the voice starts speaking louder and louder. And we cram that voice down by our little, what I call, the simple sugars of life: food, Netflix, distraction. Sometimes I use cleaning. Like I can definitely tell when I'm in my shit because I'm actually cleaning my house to avoid what I'm actually supposed to be doing. And so the thing is I'm using the word not, and not creates a void. So essentially, I want you to think about it this way. If I were to say, okay, I'm writing a word on my hand, it's something. Okay, so basically I'm saying it can be an infinite amount of things on my hand. I want you to guess it. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a clue. It's not pickle. Okay, infinity minus one? Like that's not much of a guess. Okay, and so what this does is, like, when you are told not to think of something, the brain can't create void images. It can only think of the imagery that the words are using. You guys have, you guys are an advanced group, so you've heard this. If I tell you to not think of a pink elephant, the first thing in your mind is a pink elephant. So when we remove the void words, at that point, we're able to see clearly. Okay, and so the way that we speak clearly is by speaking in what's called universal truth, speaking in a way that reflects what is unarguably true as we see it as humans. And here are the three universal truths. Everything is something and somewhere. Everything is always moving all the time. And everything's true from some perspective. Everything is something and somewhere. When I was 10 years old, and Mom, if you're on this call, you can correct me if I got the age wrong. I had a leather jacket that my grandma bought me, and I lost it at the mall. Now, lost is a void because everything is something and somewhere. And what we know about energy is that it cannot be created or destroyed. It could only be transferred. And so nothing is truly lost. Lost is a void. So that jacket is somewhere. Some kid's wearing it, or it's in a million little pieces. And by the way, when God finally calls me up, that is going to be my first question of where that jacket is. So everything is something and somewhere. Next is everything is always moving all the time. So when someone says, oh, I just want this feeling to stop. Well, stop is a void because everything's always moving all the time. The universe is expanding at an ever-increasing rate. The earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and being hurled around the sun even faster than that. So even when I sit still, we are still moving. And even if all of that stops, what we know about particles and waves is all waves are particles and all particles are waves. So this is actually not being still. This is actually vibrating at a rate that makes it feel still, but it actually is moving even when it's still. Does this make sense? Third is everything is true from some perspective. Now, if we're walking down the street, 110 degrees out, we're walking in a parking lot, and I walk up to a car and I pick up a brick and I whip it into a window, you'd be like, Spencer, what the heck, man? Let's get out of here. Like, I can go to jail for that. But then you step 15 feet to the left, and inside of the car, you see a baby and a puppy. And I broke that window to save those two. From one perspective, I'm a villain, criminal. Another perspective, I'm a hero. Now, when I say everything's true from some perspective, people say, well, what about unicorns, Spencer? What about unicorns? Unicorns aren't real. I'm like, yes, well, unicorns are not real. Well, not is a void because everything's real from some perspective. Then prove to me that unicorns are real. Unicorns are real. They exist in my imagination. Imagination's not real. Yes, it is. Not is a void. Imagination is real. Prove it. You're sitting on someone's imagination right now. Every single one of you is watching this on a digital device that started out as someone's imagination, that turned into a plan, that turned into action, that turned into the thing that you are actually experiencing. Everything's real from some perspective. So that is how you speak clear. You remove the voids by speaking in universal truth. And so when we go through the precise language portion of our content today, I will, whenever I say that something is a void, I will refer it back to one of those universal truths so you know what it is. Is this making sense to everybody? Because we got one more part and then we're getting into the coaching. Give me a yes. All right. Oh, okay. Someone actually did put a thumbs up. Fantastic. That's great. I didn't know that was possible on this. All right. Cool. Next part is speaking precise. Every time that we use language, now that we're speaking clear, as we speak, we are creating. With every word that we say, every word that we think, we are creating. And so the term abracadabra, does anyone know what abracadabra means? Go ahead and put it in the again, for those of you who've done my training, like I want to see what people's opinion is. Abracadabra means I create as I speak. Magic. Magic with a CK. Look it up. Different than just magic spelled with a C. Excuse me. So when you are creating, when you're using language, you are creating. And the fault of the dream maker, of the wish maker, is in vague language. So if someone says to me, if I say, okay, I say this to all my clients, like, I want you to speak to me as if I'm a magic genie. Okay. Now I got a confession. I'm not the magic genie. You're the magic genie. You're the magic genie. I'm just the mirror. So I say, speak to me like I'm a magic genie. Tell me what you want. Tell me right now, what is it that you want? Someone's like, okay, what's the wish? I want more money. Awesome. I flip them a quarter. Wish is my command. You're like, well, that's not what I meant. Not as a void. What did you mean? Well, I want more money than that. Okay. How much money do you want? I want $100,000. Sweet. Get out my checkbook, write $100,000, post date it 2050. Like, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Well, I want it. Well, what did you want? I want $100,000 cash right now. Okay. Now we're getting precise. I'm like, okay. Now, before I grant this wish, and I will grant this wish, I want to ask you, are you going to live within integrity of this desire? Yes? Okay. All right. So I pull out my stack, give $100,000 cash, give it to you, and you're like, all right, cool. $100,000 cash, time for me to go buy some stuff, right? I mean, what would you do with $100,000 cash right now? Nat says, Jeannie, I'd like $100 million right now. And Nat, I'm going to be, you know what? I'm going to grant that wish. Nat, as your magic genie, granting the wish, $100 million right now. And so I give you a stack. $100 million looks like 100 suitcases, or not suitcases, 100 briefcases full of cash. And once you get it, you say, all right, sweet. I'm going to go and I'm going to buy myself a new car. Sam, what type of car would you buy? Sam's my car guy. You got to go off mute, bro.
Obviously a Ferrari.
Okay, Ferrari. So, okay, a Murcielago. All right, so Nat and Sam go with their $100 million because the genie's giving everyone $100 million cash right now. Go to the Ferrari dealership, and they're like, all right, that's going to be $250,000. You're like, not a problem. I got all this cash. You go with your stack of cash, and you start trying to pull out the cash, and you're like, what the heck? Why can't I pull this cash out? And you hit me up and you're like, yo, Magic Genie, what's wrong with this cash? And I said, you told me you wanted $100 million. For you to spend one of those dollars is to be out of integrity of that wish. So I'm sorry, you're stuck with $100 million. Because every time you try to spend it, then you're out of integrity of that dream. You didn't want $100 million. You wanted that Ferrari. You wanted security for your family. You wanted generational wealth. You wanted to serve in charity. You wanted to build a business. You wanted to pay your taxes. You wanted to, spoil your dog by buying him Factor 75 for dogs. Which, by the way, Sam, I just got Mojo's Factor 75s. And so we trip up as in vague language. So the way that we speak in precise language is we fractal. Okay. So when I say I want you to get my keys, they're in Chicago. Good luck finding my keys if that's all I give you. When I say they're in Chicago, they're in my house, in my bedroom, on the windowsill, on the right-hand side, in a change jar. Underneath the change, my keys are there. And there's an orange keychain. Almost not, well, some of you have been to my house, but if you've never been to my house, in those 10 seconds of me telling you where they were, I bet you could come into my house right now and in 30 seconds find those keys. Whereas when I was using void language, it took 2 hours and you ransacked my room and it just caused all types of a mess. So when we use precise language, we actually get to collapse the timeline of between knowing what to do and actually taking action. When we use precise language, we take finding the keys from a 2-hour ordeal that destroys relationships, pisses people off, and ruins a party to something that is clear, efficient, and quick, that enables you to get those keys, get in the car, go to the party, have a blast, and an amazing memory. As we go through our creation process and we use language this way, this is what empowers us to be able to effectively transfer knowledge from our higher selves, our inner selves, to our consciousness. And then when we use that language in a way that we connect with other people, it creates a cohesive team where you're all on the same page. So does everyone understand? Everyone get how precise language works? Because we're about to get into it. Okay. Kathleen says yes. Hey, Mom. What's up? Fantastic. All right. So here's how precise language works. In this precise language session, we are both in this container together. This is not me refereeing your language as I get to do whatever the heck I want to do. We are in the language together. So you have just as much permission to monitor my language to make sure it is clear and precise as I do for you. Second thing, the only time that I will, the only 2 times I will interrupt you is one, when you're using void language. I'll call the void. Void language is allowed in your mind, but everything that comes out of your mouth must be clear, okay? Must be clear. And Josh, I see you're dropping that link. You can drop the calendar link as well. Josh, drop that second calendar link because I'm pretty sure that it is there's more openings in that link than the other ones. So the second way that I'll interrupt you is since we're doing condensed sessions, if you are kind of going down a rabbit hole that's not really effective, or that could be more effective, then I'll interrupt you there as well. There will come a point where you feel like it is impossible to speak clearly. And in my 8 years of doing this, in the tens of thousands of hours that I've done this, I've never seen someone not be able to state something clearly. So those are the basic rules. Okay. Now, by the way, all of the sessions that we're doing for all of you that booked sessions with me, and it looks like, holy shit. Oh my. All right. Like, it looks like a lot of you booked sessions with me. That was overwhelming. I'm excited. Sam, I see you laughing at me. Wow. That's a lot of sessions. Okay. In these sessions, we're going to be speaking in precise language. Yes. Logan said, "Be careful what you ask for." I'm well aware. I'm just a little overwhelmed. Like, we've only lost like 12 people, and it's been an hour and 6 minutes. So like, I love that you guys are engaged with this. All right. So yes, so the way that precise language works is that we get into this container, we speak clearly, and the goal is for us to either get a new mindset, for us to realize what our next step is, or for us to have kind of a meta view of a new strategy. Okay, and so we're going to go one problem, one solution, because I want to make sure that I'm able to serve as many people as we can on this call, and so that's how it works. So conscious creation, 5D, 4D, 3D, 2D, 1D. How do we make that shit work? Integrity. Sensitize ourselves to that. What happens when we break it? We practice forgiveness, and we get back on track. How do we figure out what we need to do? We use precise language, and we use precise language in this wheel that I call the 5 pillars of progress. So I'm going to ask you one of 5 questions. Okay. What do you want? What's standing in your way? What is your next step? How might you fuck this up? What might go wrong in this plan? And who do you need to be in order to have the thing that you want? As long as you are asking those 5 questions continuously using precise language, it is literally impossible for you not to make progress. This works 100% of the time. And I can prove it because that's what we're going to do next is we're going to do it. Elle asked Ellie asked if you can write those questions. Josh will get you. Josh has got you. All right. So the first question is, what is it that you want and what's standing in your way? So if you can write in here, 1, put 1 dot, what is it that you want? And then 2, what's standing in your way? I'll bring you onto the call and we'll have precise language and knock that shit out. What's really cool, and I'll wait for some of those to come on here. I'm going to move this over. Here. I'm still super overwhelmed by how many calls there are. I'm like so excited. What's really cool is what I'm going to show you is where your monsters are getting in your way. So many mindset coaches talk about like break free from your resistance, no more self-sabotage, but like how do we actually know that it's happening? In this demonstration, I'm going to show you where your monsters are, because your monsters are the things that cause you to create voids in your language. And so the more intense the monster is, the harder it is going to be to speak clear. So in the session, what I'm going to be doing for you guys is I'm going to be helping you navigate through the voice in your head, and sometimes I'm actually going to step out and actually show you what's going on and showing you the plays that your monsters are playing on you. And what's really cool about monsters, I'm going to show these 2 things, and then I'm going to see who we're going to bring on here. Thing about monsters is they are ethereal beings that do not have free will. They're mechanisms, which means they operate like machines. Machines are binary. They have a certain function and they cannot change the way that they function. So once you identify a monster, they have to give you their playbook. And once you have their playbook, you can understand how to operate in flow with them. Not to destroy them, how to operate with them. Because we feel like our angels are conspiring for our greatness, and our monsters are trying to hold us back. So we try to fight the monsters and be like, screw this. Like I'm going to, break free from my monsters and slay the demons and fuck the devil and all that stuff. Nah. Here's the thing. In your internal universe, in your internal kingdom, you are the royalty. And every single one of your thoughts and emotions is a separate entity that belongs in your kingdom. And as the king or queen of your kingdom, you are responsible for caring for each one of them. So even hating hate is still hate. Killing your monsters is still murder. And what you don't understand, or what's useful to understand, pardon me, is that both your angels and your monsters are always with you. Monsters cannot be killed, because to die is a void, because everything's always moving all the time. You can't cut them out of your life, because out is a void, because you're always connected to it somehow. So what I want to show you is how to build a new relationship. And once you build a new relationship, you're going to see this in our demonstration. Once you build a new relationship, you actually realize that both your angels and your monsters are both conspiring for your greatness. The only difference that you need to make is the relationship that you have with them. And it's your responsibility as royalty, as a god, lowercase g, like, a being that has free will to create based on its emotions and thoughts. Once you realize how to operate with them, you realize that they're actually serving you. They're giving you nuggets of wisdom to help you move forward towards your goal. And so if they're trying to help you, but they're communicating through negative emotions and you keep pushing them away, you're the monster. If you want to actually leverage them and have 2 streams of fuel pushing you forward to your purpose, your vision. Simply just build a new relationship with them. All right, that's it. That's the end of the spiel. That's how it works. All of this sounds relatively simple, right? But wait till we get to this. All right, so I'm going to take a look here. Okay, Mark Roche. Is that how we say it? Mark Roche. You there, brother? We're going to bring you on. All right. I'm going to bring you on here. Oh, he is up. Oh, did he? Oh, Mark is with a K. Mark Roche. Yo, brother. You there? I'm going to unmute you. There we are. Hey, Mark.
Hi.
How you doing today, man?
All right. All things considered. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Best day ever. So before we step in, I give you full permission to monitor my language to make sure it is clear and precise. Do I have that same permission?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Tell me what it is that you want.
Survive the next few weeks and months.
Okay.
I lost a 1 day a week part-time job, which means 480 less a month, and I was just eking by as it was.
Okay. So what do you need in order to survive?
Basically 500 a month beyond my Social Security check.
Okay. What is your next step in order to produce $500 extra a month?
The only thing that so far it seems to make any sense is get my place cleaned up a little bit and sell what I can on Craigslist and eBay.
Excellent. If you were,
but that will be just get by for the next few weeks or the next month. That's not going to be an ongoing.
That's a void. So that's going to get you by for the next few weeks.
I'm hoping. I'm not sure if people are buying given the current crisis out there.
Okay. So you can clean up your house, get yourself situated, and post your stuff on Craigslist, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one action step. How long do you think that'll take you?
To do it at least, good enough, probably 2 or 3 days.
Okay. So over the next 2 or 3 days, I want you to focus on simply just that. Collecting everything you can, putting it onto Craigslist or eBay so you can buy yourself some runway. Because that's what you need is you need runway. You need time to come up with ways in order for you to produce income, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So so I want you to, in your imagination, I want you to go into your mind and I want you to see that those that you have sold everything and it has produced you enough money to give you a few extra weeks at minimum. Okay. So let's call it 3 weeks. So in those 3 weeks, what else can you do to create income?
Apply for disability. I'm not sure how much. I think it takes longer than 3 weeks to get the response, but I can at least get that going.
Okay. How soon can you apply for that?
I have to find out how to do that online during these times. I'm assuming
when can you commit to figuring that out?
So the first day after the 3 days spent on the first task.
Cool. On Monday?
If that's that day, yeah.
Yeah, it's Thursday. So you could figure that out on Sunday and then take action on Monday?
I can figure it out and take action on Monday.
Okay. I see Logan here has put a website, va.gov for veteran disability. Would that be supportive for you?
I'm not a veteran, but
okay.
Thanks.
if anyone else knows of a resource or a link that can reduce the timeline for Mark to help Mark get there faster, that'd be super useful. Okay, so on Sunday you're going to research on how to apply for disability. What time are you going to do that on Sunday?
Again, Monday.
Oh, on Monday. What time are you going to do that on Monday?
I don't know.
Don't avoid. So choose a time.
I'll say 12.
12. Now, is that the time that you're going to finish, or is that the time you're going to start?
Start.
Fantastic. So, hey, Josh, can you make a note to send Mark an email on Monday? And Mark, if you can write your email down in the comments, can you we can send him an email on, or actually, yeah, Sam, if you can do this. Sam is our accountability coach. So on Monday at noon, what time zone are you in, Mark?
California.
Okay, so that's 2 p.m. our time, Sam, to send Mark an email telling him that he needs to start researching to get disability. Fantastic. All right, Mark. So when we reach out to you on Monday and we send you an email, can you commit to replying back and saying I'm on it?
Sure.
Fantastic. And then when you've completed that task, can you send another email and let us know what you found?
Sure.
Fantastic. All right. So you're going to go on eBay, sell some stuff, or you're going to clean your house, sell some stuff. You're going to look at disability, and you're going to look at disability, and you're going to figure out how you're going to get an additional $500 a month on top of your income. Logan also made a post here, www.ssa.gov/disability.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Also, I'm not seeing that. www. What was it? Because it's not showing up on my thing here.
Sam, can you Mark, can you put your email down in here, and Sam will email it to you?
Sure. But,
Fantastic.
so yes to what you said, with one correction, which is I'm not going to necessarily sell stuff on Craigslist and eBay. I'm going to list stuff and see what happens from there.
That's clear. Awesome. And so you've got a 2-step plan: clean your place, list some stuff, look at disability. So when in the event that we were to continue doing this, we would just go to the next step. So you've got a plan for the next 4 days. If you're still struggling after those 4 days on what to do next, you can join our identity imprinting group and reach out to us there to for us to support you in a strategy for next steps to make some more income. Does that sound good?
That's on Facebook?
Yep.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So you've got a plan, my friend.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. You feel complete?
Pretty much.
Good. Did you find value out of this quick session we had today?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. We look forward to hearing about your progress, bro.
All righty.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Who is next? How do I do this? Disable talking. There we go. All right. And in the chat, you can raise your hand. And for some reason, I'm not seeing like the hands that are raised. Oh, let me look over here. All right, who would like to go next? Type in the box, I would like to go next, and have what you want and what your challenge is. All right. Elias, we'll take you next. Did I freeze here, Sam? No, okay. And pardon me if I got your name wrong. Is it Elias? Am I saying that right? You are on the mic. Elias, are you there? you text in the box to let us know that you are there? For some reason, the audio has a challenge hearing you. All right, try to figure out what the problem is. We're going to go to the next person, and we'll be sure to get you on next. Try to figure out what's going on with the mic. All right. So thanks. So here. All right, Dan Jordan. All right, we're gonna get you on the mic, Dan. Dan Jordan. What's up, brother? I'm gonna unmute you. Unmute. There you go, Dan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you?
No complaints.
Okay, well, no's a void.
Fair enough.
So clearly stated. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. I give you full permission to monitor my language, make sure it's clear and precise. So I got the same permission.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. Tell me what it is that you want. What's standing in your way?
Well, I have an e-commerce business and also a training business that I've been trying to launch the last couple of years. And I do a lot of research, not a lot of action.
No,
and
so you do a lot of research, and what about your action?
I need to improve and add more action and execution to get where I need to go.
Excellent. What actions do you need to take in order for you to move forward?
Basically putting content out there in the lines of products and myself.
Okay. What's holding you back from putting out content?
I'm trying to say it positively. So,
well,
I
want to make a distinction between positive, negative, and void and clear. Negativity is clear. So you're allowed to be negative. So, I do, and I want you to say it clearly. So try that out. What's standing in your way to make creating content?
I BS around and am too caught up on being a perfectionist.
What do you mean by BS around?
I'll do a lot of research. I'll put notes together, but I won't actually.
But's a void. So won't is a void. So you do a lot of research, put notes together, and then what happens next?
Nothing, essentially.
Nothing is a void because everything you do something. What happens to those notes?
They sit.
They sit. What do you mean by sit?
Oh, they sit where they were, unused,
unused is a void because they're doing something. So they're just sitting on the computer?
Yes.
Okay. So what would you like to do with that research?
Put it in front of people so that I can help out the folks that I am supposed to be, or that I would like to help.
What do you mean by put it out in front of people?
That would be YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, all those things.
Stellar. You got a computer?
I do.
You have a YouTube account?
I do.
You have a Facebook account?
I do.
Fantastic. Is this written content or video content?
Both, but essentially video to launch it out.
Awesome. Cool. Do you have a camera to record the content?
I do.
Okay. So what's standing in your way from turning on that computer and making a statement about whatever it is that you want to promote?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. So,
when was the last time you committed to doing it?
Every 5 minutes, essentially.
Okay, cool. How long will it take you to make a video?
10 minutes, probably.
10 minutes? Fantastic. Are you on your phone or your computer right now?
I'm on my phone.
Cool. Is the phone what you would shoot on?
No, I would probably shoot on my laptop with my ring light and everything.
Fantastic. Where's that ring light?
Right beside my laptop.
Where's your laptop?
On the bed beside me.
Fantastic. Open up the laptop. Turn on your ring light.
Clear.
Fantastic. Mute your phone.
Okay.
Mute your phone. and shoot a piece of content right now. And then put write that you're done in the comments when you're done. I'll be around for 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
And then we'll see how that goes. All right. Cool. I'll see you in 10.
All right.
A lot of times, so here's what's happening there. Okay. So what's happening there is that he's caught up in his head. He's saying he's committing to it every 5 minutes. This is what I mean by like committing to your schedule. So in our group program called Level Up, this is what we do. We meet every single week and we ask the question, what are the 3 actions that you get to take this week that will impact the progress of your vision the most? And so for what was it, Dan? Sam, was it Dan I was talking to? I apologize. There's so many. Oh yes, it was Dan. It was Dan. So and so simply it's like, okay, if you're committing to do it, what time are you going to do that? And you saw I did this with the last call. So it's like, what time are you committed to starting it? Not when is it due? When are you going to start it? Right? And so if you say, okay, I'm going to do it Monday at 1:00, and then at 1:00 we have a private Facebook group for our group coaching clients. We create a post at noon with your name tagged in it and the task that you need to do. And so when it's time to start that task, you have to go into the Facebook group and say, okay, I'm on it. And so if we're still waiting for you to reply and another day goes by and I say, Dan, you were supposed to create that content at 1:00 on Monday. Did you do it? No. Okay. Well, no is a void. What were you doing at 1:00? Physically, where were you? What were your eyes on? What were you doing? I was watching YouTube. Okay. What was it about watching YouTube that gave you more satisfaction than actually, and then we actually get to go into it, because a break of integrity is an opportunity for you to find the strategy of what's holding you back. So I'm interested in, like, we had Dan go do it. When he comes back, I'm fascinated by what his emotions were in doing that. So it really, really can be that simple. Again, integrity, intention, commitment, action, done. And when and this is a muscle. When you strengthen this muscle, then it becomes it becomes like in real time. You commit, you feel, you commit, and you act. No impedance. No is a void. Flow. This is flow state. This is how you train yourself to get into flow state. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Dan was next. We'll go to Kara. Kara H. Are you still on the line? Yes, you are. All right. Is it Kara? Is it Kara?
Either way, it doesn't matter. Can you hear my voice?
I can hear your voice.
Okay, perfect.
How do you refer?
Thank
How do you
you.
how do you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Kara.
Kara. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I give you permission to make sure my language is clear. Do I have the same permission?
Absolutely.
Super. All right. So, what is it that that you want?
So I'm supposed to be putting together some goals, and I need to become very clear on what I want. Given this new situation that's turned up in the world, I can't sit myself down to figure out, how am I supposed to write this?
Can't avoid. So the way to clarify that is I want
Yes.
to. So what would you like to do?
I want to, thank you, create some goals for my future. And I want it to be relative to the near future, but also have an impact where it continues on to the further out into the future. So a year from now. And I am having trouble just sitting down and writing out those goals because I'm allowing myself to be distracted by the stuff that happened recently.
Okay. So distracted. I'm interested. What distracts you?
Because I'm thinking, since we don't have control of this whole situation.
Don't avoid. Because what about the situation?
Since I do not have control of the situation.
Do not avoid.
Oh, wow. How can I word that?
So if you notice, the harder it is to speak
Uh-huh.
clearly, the bigger the
Yes.
monster.
Oh, wow.
hmm So here's the way to clarify that.
Okay.
I'm struggling to create my goals. Am I on a speaker? Is the way you could turn it down a little bit or use a headset? I'm hearing a little bit
Is
of
it
feedback.
my volume?
Yeah, just turn it down just a little
Okay.
bit. Okay, perfect. So I'm struggling to create my goals because my focus is gravitating towards the chaos of this situation. Okay, so when your attention is gravitating towards the chaos of the situation, what does that look like? Is it on your phone? Is it on your computer?
Is it on my phone or my computer? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Or is it just thoughts? Like what's the distraction?
Yeah, it's the thoughts of how can I do this? So, for example, do this advertising when I cannot physically go out and meet clients. So
So
I can do the ads,
mm-hmm,
but then because they're telling us you need to stay in,
mm-hmm.
then
What do you need to advertise?
so I'm selling real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to advertise to clients so that I can have them say, yes, I want that, and then go out and meet them and move it on.
Okay. And
Yeah.
when you meet them, so when you connect with them, these clients, do you already know who these people are, or is it that you need to find new
No,
people?
no, it's not people that I know because it's for
Okay.
advertisings, right? So it's the public.
Okay. Are you a real estate broker?
No, well, same thing, real estate agent.
Real estate agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got to figure out what your goals are and how to market to people in the quarantine. Yes.
Ye- Uh, okay, sorry, this might be a bit confusing.
Mhm.
But right now, because we cannot go outside and meet clients, so I can advertise, but then I can't go meet clients. So then I have to put that on pause. So I'll
Mhm.
just kind of be collecting clients.
Mhm.
And then when the time comes when this whole situation is over, only then can I go out and meet people.
Mhm. So, okay, so there is this physical there's this physical situation that you have that makes it extremely challenging to close on a home. So the strategy for that specifically is to create a pent up demand. So this is your opportunity to widen your audience and to connect with more people that are looking to purchase real estate. To work out that specific strategy for that would require a little bit of research on my end, because real estate is a different profession than I'm in. And what I do know is that there are people that are like, oh my gosh, we've got to buy a new house. There's a demand for it, and they're running through the same challenges that you are on the buying end. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what strategies can you use to build up your list of potential buyers or sellers? I'm assuming
Right.
your buyers or sellers. So when we're allowed to go outside again, you've got more contacts and prospects than you can handle.
That's amazing.
What can you
Yeah,
do for that?
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So I would definitely say
mhm.
start doing the ads now and create the goal for what I want the outcome to be in the future, and know that it's okay that I'm not going to be able to meet them now, because soon enough, as soon as I am able to meet them, then I have all these people in my pipeline that I'll be able to book appointments with and meet them in the future.
Absolutely. And so build however you manage your leads or your prospects, whether it's an Excel sheet or Excel sheet or a
Mm-hmm.
CRM. Your goal is to get whatever that number is, 100 people in that Excel sheet. So when we're allowed to go outside, you have just a list of contacts to just book up your calendar. That's the strategy for you.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. let's okay, so let's see here. Yes, Kara. Cynthia is still on. Actually, I can see if she's still on. Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Are you there? If for those of you, like, no mic on this computer. Cynthia, did you book an appointment with me? Because I'd love to still support you. Also, you can go onto our Identity Imprinting Facebook group, and I do lives like this all the time. So I'll be able to serve you in that way. Okay, let's see, Cynthia. Let's see. We got 150 people still on here. I'm going to stick to my commitment. I'm having a great time, guys. Let's see what's the problem. Jason. All right. Jason. What's up, homie?
Yeah, man. You're amazing.
Thanks, brother.
Fantastic stuff, Spencer. You really figured this stuff out, man. I can tell right away. I'm just like you, and I swear, like from the first second, we just all right, man. I got some big monsters. I just put in the chat what my challenge is, what my problem is. It's the regular overwhelmed stuff, and I want to live my life purpose. I'm here to do exactly what you're doing, man.
Fantastic. So what's your life purpose? Tell me. Why are you on this planet?
To help
people do what?
To live their life purpose.
Your life purpose is to help people live their life purpose. Have you helped someone with their life purpose before?
Personally, yes.
Yes. What was their life purpose?
I'm sorry. No, I helped them with their problems.
Okay. What problems did you help them with?
Anxiety, stress, fear, worry.
Okay. How did you help them with that?
Pretty much the same kind of method that you'd use. I just, like I said, I have a lot of respect for you because you really nailed it down to a precise science. I show them what their demons are. I listen to what they have to say, and I'm very big on constructive criticism, and I want it myself so I can get better. And I spend a lot of time in my head, so I've just taken the things that I've learned over the years and apply it to them and make them become more aware of what's truly holding them back, because a lot of people aren't really aware, right? So
who specifically do you feel most compelled to serve?
The people that really want it.
The people that really want it. Okay.
That's what makes the big difference. Everyone wants it, but not everyone's ready to do what it takes to get it.
No, let's keep it clear.
Oh,
so
sorry, my bad.
So everybody wants it. So you want to help everyone that wants it, and everyone wants it.
No, I want to help everyone that really wants it.
Okay. How many people really want it?
Very small percentage.
Okay. How many would you say in the world? What percentage?
I'd probably give it maybe 10%.
10%. All right. You in the States?
No, Canada.
Canada. How many people live in Canada?
30 million.
30 million. 10% of 30 million, 300,000.
I can do that. Yes, sir.
Okay. So Magic Genie, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Wish is my command. Go ahead and take a look at your email, homie. You have 300,000 emails. What are you going to do next? 3 million. And pardon me. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Math, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You got 3 million. You got 3 million emails, homie, of everyone's like, oh my gosh, you can help. Yes. All right. What are you doing next? freaking the fuck out. Here's my point. Careful what you wish for. when you want to serve everyone in marketing, I've been in marketing, and I've been in sales. I started my first company, or I started as a coach when I was 16. I've been doing this for 21 years. And here's what I've learned. If everyone is your market, no one's your market. No one's a void. So if everyone's your market, you've got a problem. Because if you get what you wish for, to serve all of those people, you have got a huge problem. And so my suggestion to you is to choose a niche. And every healer, every coach, every mentor struggles with this, because I can help so many people. The more you niche down, the easier it is for you to be able to keep that focus. So you said you're all over the place. You want to know why? Because your vision has 3 million people that you're trying to help. Of course, you're all over the place. Chase 2 rabbits, catch none. Chase 3 million rabbits. Good luck. So here it, Anik said it, and Kit said it perfect. Pardon, homie. The ideal client is a version of yourself. Every coach, and this is the best way to find your niche. Every coach is merely just sharing the medicine that they took themselves, and their program is just a series of breadcrumbs for people to follow. So I would encourage you to do some figure out what your avatar is. There are trainings like your ideal client or find your avatar. That's your first step for this. Is you have this gift. There's so many people that you need to choose. I started in the fitness industry. I help people rewire their minds so they can change their behaviors to have the body they want. Specific, right? After that, I went into the business industry. I helped experts. I helped experts reverse engineer their gift into a computer system so they can scale their company. Specific. Then I went into the dating industry. I helped guys embody both the masculine and feminine energy and learn discernment so they could find their dream girl. Specific. And so now that I've been doing this for 20 years, I can say, I can help you rewire your mind. Everyone wants to be the Tony Robbins. Everybody wants to be the Oprah and the Jordan and the Michael Jordan of the world and the Bill Gates of the world. Bill Gates started with one software. Oprah started with one TV show. Right? And Tony Robbins started out by curing people of phobias. You're afraid of snakes? I'll fix that. And then it became this big thing. So your next step is to find who your avatar is, and then start speaking to their problems and get your message out there. So pick an avatar, start speaking your message and speaking to people, create an offer, create something for someone to enroll in that will help them solve their specific problem, and then serve the shit out of that person. Rinse and repeat.
Perfect.
How does that land for you?
I got it all down, man. I wrote every single thing you said. It's perfect. That's exactly what I need to do. And you know what? You asked the first time, and the first thing, the only said one answer is clarity. That's exactly what I needed, was clarity.
Fantastic, brother. Well, be sure to join us in that
Already
Facebook group.
joined.
I would love to freaking support you, homie.
I'm there, man. Spencer,
right.
You're amazing. Love you, bud.
Love you too, brother. All right. Okay. And we're going to get Dan back on the line here. Was it Dan Jordan? Yeah.
Hey there.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Yo, what's up? How'd it go?
Oh, it was good, man. I like it. Thank you. I appreciate that call to action. That was great.
What resistance or negative emotions did you experience while doing that?
Here's the fun thing I know about myself is that when I'm doing it for someone else or doing it with, like you kind of talked about earlier, with the eyes of the world, so to speak, it's really easy for me to get past. But I would say the main thing for me was, am I saying the right thing that's going to impact people the way that I want it to, so that it has the impact that I hope that it does for them.
Oh, dude, I feel you so much. I feel you so much on that, bro. And creating content is so difficult. It's so difficult. and you want to know what makes it better, I want to give you one word that's going to change the game of content for you. Are you ready? Because this is me spending over $500,000 on marketing, and I'm just going to dump it all on you right now. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Reps. Reps, homie. Reps. You know, I have a hard drive up there with 40 continuous days, 40 times 24 hours of video content. And that's just video content. I probably have 100 days of audio content constantly creating, constantly. And that what enables me to do a 2-hour workshop while having 6 lines of notes, right? Reps. So where is that video right now?
I recorded it on Zoom.
Fantastic. Do you have a link to that recording?
I do not, but I can upload it to YouTube.
Why don't you upload it to YouTube and then go into our Facebook group and say, hey, Spence, I followed through with my commitment. I'm in full integrity. Here's a link.
Okay.
All right.
Is that the is there only one Facebook group link in here?
Yeah.
That's been okay. Yep, I'm on there, so I will do that.
Awesome, brother.
Appreciate it.
Cool. All right. Someone said they see my my Aries mug, which was given to me by Layla. Are you still in the call, Layla? Yeah, she's still on the call. Yes. What day of Aries am I? I'm April 7th, 1983. Go Rams. All right. All right. Oh, you're okay. Jason, you're the effing man. Oh, thanks, brother. All right. Let's so again, so like this is it. So let's take a look at what Dan shared with us. What was it that was able to get Dan to do something that he's been committing to do every 5 minutes, he said, trying to do constantly over and over and over again, and actually get him to take action. And it was, he spoke up, he spoke clear, he spoke we got precise. What do you need to do? It's like, okay, I need to create videos. All right, well, more precise. What are you going to shoot it on? I'm going to shoot it on my computer. Where's your computer? Right next to me. Okay. Then commitment. I'm going to shoot a video on my computer and get back to you. Okay. And that's what we call inertia. And because he had accountability within the group, because we illuminated what truly needed to be done and held him accountable, he was able to do that. And that is what we do in the identity imprinting group. That's what we do in our Level Up community. And the Level Up program is designed for that hyper accountability. Like I said, like I've got an entire team to be up your ass to hold you accountable. And then when you're in breakdown, we nurture you in that breakdown. And we truly figure out like what is it that you were experiencing, and we build a new relationship with that resistance. And then what do we need to do to get back in integrity? I'm picking up my thumb. And then we forgive ourselves and let that guilt flow through us like wind through a screen door, and on to the next thing. Constant progress. And that's all that I'm promising. Tell me your North Star. What do we need to do to guarantee progress? And so far, we're batting 1,000. We're batting 1,000. Okay. And reps, yes. AJ, reps as in keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Like I said, the whole thing of how to do precise language, I had 0 notes on that. Why? Because I have literally given that speech over 1,000 times. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, Dan. Awesome work, Dan. Looking at the Cynthia. Okay. All right, who else would like to go? Harry, you are very welcome. I look forward to our chat on Sunday. It's gonna be a blast. Sam, I'm just like the way you responded to me responding to the appointments. You guys want to see the appointment? What my next week looks like? You want to see it, Sam?
Yeah.
So I took a look. I'll show you this part first. Oh, 1 second. I can't wait to watch the replay and look at it. All right. So this this was the next. So this is what I saw first, and then I went to next week. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, all right. So I don't know if Colleen's on, but if you can order more coffee for the food order next week, I may need it. And then let's take a look at the next. Okay, it starts to slow down a little bit. Fantastic. Hey, we're in the quarantine. What else I got to do? All right, fantastic. Okay, who's next? Elias, I have fixed my mic, and I'm going to find out if I have mispronounced your name. Okay. Elias, are you on?
Yes,
Am I pronouncing it right?
it's actually pronounced Elias.
Elias.
That's okay.
Elias.
Yes.
Apologies. Okay.
Oh, it's all right.
I give you permission to monitor my language, make sure it's clear and precise. I've got that same permission.
Yes.
Sweet. So what's going on, brother? What do you want? What's standing in your way?
Well, I want to have a better relationship with my son. Actually, right now, my son doesn't even want to talk to me.
1 sec. Your son doesn't want to talk to you. Doesn't
No.
avoid. So what type of relationship does your son want with you?
I really don't know. I mean, we used to have a pretty good relationship. He went to the Navy, and we just got kind of disconnected afterwards. And
Disconnected is avoid. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out a little bit. What type of relationship would you like with your son?
more of a father and dad type of friend type of deal.
Mm-hmm. How old is your son?
My son is 23 years old now.
23. What was the last thing you tried to do? What was the last action you took to get in better connection with him?
I sent him a text.
Okay. And how did he respond?
He didn't respond. He hasn't responded at all.
Okay. So did he see the text?
I do not know. I couldn't tell on because of the phone that he has if he has seen the text or not.
What was the last thing you did before that?
Before that, I actually talked to him on the phone.
Okay. How did that go?
Not very well. He said he wasn't going to talk much. He was just going to ask me a few questions that they wanted to know from my my residency here in the U.S.
Okay. Have you asked him point blank? Or pardon me. Have you shared with him that you want to build a closer relationship?
Yes, I have.
What did he say?
He says, I don't.
Did you ask him why?
Yes, I did. And he says because he's upset the way that he had his upbringing. He says, I know that a lot of guys have a worse upbringing than I have, but I'm still upset at you.
What specifically about his upbringing makes him upset?
They said I was very harsh in my discipline.
Were you?
I was disciplined military-like, and that's the way I disciplined him.
And when he said that you were harsh in the way that you disciplined him, what did you say back?
I said I was just doing what I was taught to do.
So when he says that you were harsh in the way that you disciplined me, he's stating a fact, right? There's an emotion behind that fact. And it was a fact. You were harsh with me. And then you stated a fact back. I did what I knew how to do. And pardon me, what he's sharing with you is that he desired you to discipline him in a way that made him feel loved. And so when So do you realize, even when you do your best, do you acknowledge that the way that you were firm with him, hurt him?
I've been reading a whole bunch of different books on best practices on how to discipline a child. And even before that, I had already read books from a particular individual that I like was Don Bosco. He was a priest, and the way that he talked to youth and the way he did things, I really liked. And that's the kind of stuff that I started to use on my children, on my other two children. But my wife never liked that method because she says
Can I pause you here? Okay, so I'm gonna pull out here.
Okay.
So I asked you like if you like understand that he wished he was disciplined better and how much it hurt him.
Yes, I did actually.
Mm-hmm. Did you tell him that you understand that?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say to that?
He said he didn't. It doesn't matter anymore.
What matters to him now?
I don't know. I didn't ask him that.
That might be a place to start. Because when someone feels wounded, there is something that they're desiring. They're reflecting that it was an action that was done to them. And what that action is done to them underneath that is it's created this gap, this desire for connection that they're looking for in other areas of their life. And sometimes what you want to do is like just go straight to that, hey, I'm sorry. And if the wound is deep, then the way you respond to that has to go a little bit deeper. And so when you interact with him, it may be useful. So there's a lot of different ways to do this because this is a little bit more of a complicated situation. And say like, and simply just ask him like, hey son, like, I just want to know like okay, let's set aside our relationship. I just want to know what's important to you right now so I can support you in that. What do you feel like he would say to that?
I don't know. I hope he would respond that okay. That would be a way that I would like to start.
Yeah.
I would hope that he would respond something like that.
And do you see what I did there is I made it completely about him. Completely about him. Okay, I hurt you. I hear that. We have some mending to do in our relationship. And what I'm interested in right now is what's important to you. Because I want to support you in that. And open up that dialogue. And through continual conversations like that, it's going to start mending that, filling that gap of like, I just want to be heard. I just want to be considered. I just want, when you're disciplined, in a harsh way, what happens is the boy says, I want to behave this way. And the dad says, no, punishment. And so the problem we think is the punishment, but the problem is that he wanted something. He wanted to be understood. And so I kind of feel like addressing the punishment is kind of a fool's errand. Going back and asking truly like, well, what is it that you want? What is it that fuels your soul? And you could put it in your own way that resonates with your kid. I'm just giving you just like my vernacular, the way that I speak. What fuels your soul? Because at that point, you're coming from a complete place of service, because actually saying I'm sorry is a void. When someone says I'm sorry, I apologize. Well, I apologize for what? Well, I was a jerk and I didn't want to be a jerk. Well, didn't the void. So instead of sorry, the way to clarify that is to say, thank you so much for being patient with me so far. I want to build a relationship with you where I'm in service to the things that you want. It's time for our relationship to change, and it starts with me. I disciplined you because you wanted something and I wanted something else. And when there was a conflict, I punished you. You're a man now, and I want to build a new relationship with you. So I want to know what's important for you. What fuels your soul? How can I support you in that? I think that'd be a good starting place for you. How's this land for you?
Sounds good.
What's coming up for you?
Oh, well, the next thing I think I'm going to send him a message on his Facebook account. I know he checks it only once a month, but at least he'll get to check it then, and I'll propose that, to listen to him and to see what he would like for me to do for him.
Fantastic. My suggestion would to, if you feel he'd be open to it, is to make a phone call. So in terms of connecting with someone, you always want to try in the highest level of intimacy first. So if there's a way that you can see him, that may feel a little imposing. So maybe a phone call. And so you call and he just lets it ring and go to voicemail. And so then send the message. Hey son, I was calling you because I was really, I was really thinking about you. And honestly, I'm just like, realized that I really don't know what it is that you want. And I want to support you in what you're doing. So I'm just curious, like, what is fueling your soul these days? What is new and exciting in your life? And go from there. If you want help crafting that message, you can join our Facebook group, and we'll send you a link to connect with us on Messenger, and me and my team can go over that message that you send him to make sure that it really lands with him.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
Fantastic. That is your next step, my friend. So that's the next step. So all you can do is focus. Our minds can only focus on one thing at a time, and so all that you got is the next step. So make that next step. And then if you come up with some challenges, like, come to the community and we'll be there to support you.
Thank you.
Awesome, brother. Do you feel complete?
I feel better.
Awesome. Great. All right. Much love, brother. I'm fascinated to see how this turns out.
Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck. Stable talking. Oh, I almost wrote. All right. So what we saw there, it was something that was just a lot more emotional and something that's relational. And a lot of times we think like, well, if we can get just both these people speaking in precise language, then everything would be much better. And it's true. And if you notice, every time that someone gets on the call, I ask for permission, because everyone has the right to their own free will. His son has the right to his own free will to take a look at a message and put the phone back in the pocket. And so the best that you can do is just take that next step from the best position of love and service as you can, and crafting it in a way that lands for him and truly expresses what you're feeling. And we bypassed the actual, what he thought the challenge was, which was the discipline, when in fact the desire truly was, what his son wants. And when we discussed that question, and I asked him that question of, what is it that he wants? There was confusion. And when there's confusion, that gives us an opportunity to ask an intelligent question. So, that one was a little heavier. I'm so glad that we could have been in service for you, though. All right, let's see. Looking forward to, who wants to go next? I'm looking for strategy. So Anne says, you were 8 when you started. Yes, I was 8. Also, keep in mind, I've never had a mentor. I'm not certified. I didn't go to college. I barely passed high school. I read on like a 6th or 7th grade level. All of those are void. So the question is, how did I develop this modality and this gift? One, I was raised by incredible parents. And 2, I went within to find answers and then shared those answers with others and just kept refining. All right, Megan says, I want to live. Should a considered a void word? Yes. Should is because you should do a lot of things. Like, you could do a lot of things, but like, what are you going to do? So yes. All right. Megan. Oh, Elias. My pleasure, brother. All right. Megan says, I want to start live more. I want to start to live. I want to start to live for myself. Okay. It's vague, but it's great because that's what we're here to do. Clarify that stuff. All right, Megan. So we're going to get you on the call. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, May.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. This is my cousin and sister, Megan. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right. You ready to jam with me?
I am. I'm kind of nervous, but I totally trust you, so I'm ready.
Awesome. Let's do it. All right. So what do you mean by I want to start to live more for myself?
So I focus a lot more on making everybody else happy, rather than myself. That includes family, friends, work. I don't really set.
Don't avoid. Also, so is rather. So let's back up here. So okay. You tend to put other people first.
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Happy, but also
but's avoid. So happy and.
So happy and stressful.
Okay. Cool. What's stressful about it?
Living up to everybody else's standards, or making sure everybody else is happy rather than myself.
Okay. So this is a matter of values. And values are basically your beliefs put in sequence. Right. So like, I love being in shape and I love ice cream. So those are two like conflicting beliefs, right? And if I value being in shape more than ice cream, then when the ice cream comes, I'm going to make a decision that is in integrity of the higher value. Make sense?
Yes.
So what's happening here is you're seeing the value of service to others higher than service to self.
I agree.
Okay. So let's so do you believe that service to others is a higher value than service to self?
I do not.
Do not avoid. So what do you believe?
Okay.
What do you believe is a higher priority, service to self or service to others?
Service to self. Well, see, but that's not how
but and not. So service to self, go on. Could you see where the monsters are coming up? As soon as you said service to self, all the monsters coming up. So you see service to self as a top priority. Okay. So what can you do? What can you do to demonstrate that service to self is a top priority?
Set time to like do like a mask or take a bath, like a hot bubble bath, basically personal time, to set time for personal. I don't know what the word would be.
Okay. So yeah. So personal time. Awesome. So let me show you. I'm going to give you a framework of how to put your schedule together and the sequence of it. And you're on Facebook, yeah, May?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you part of my Facebook group?
I don't think so. Not of that one, no.
Okay. So join that Facebook group, and I've got a scheduling like workshop in there where I show you how to schedule based on your values. And so when I'll share my screen here with you. So as you can see in my schedule here, let's move. All right. So when I make my schedule, the very first thing that I do is that my wake time and my sleep time, because sleep is absolutely necessary. And do you see the next thing that I put in there?
I can't see that far.
Oh, it says me time.
Oh yeah. Okay, I
That,
see it now.
that's the time that is the time for me. And when I'm starting to feel overwhelmed because I'm in hyper service, okay?
Mhm.
Take a look at this calendar this week.
Yeah.
Nuts. That's because the world's going ape shit, and the world can really use my particular form of medicine right now. So I'm in full service.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Sam yesterday, and I'm like, bro, I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling drained. I'm like, I told him, I'm like, I am, I'm like, I'm on the edge of breakdown. I'm like, I know that I'm going to have a good cry, and it's coming on Sunday. I'm like, I'm like, I know it. I just know myself. And so he took a look at my schedule, and he's like, dude, he's like, I understand, your love of service. He's like, and what I'm seeing in the schedule here is, where's the time for you? And so if you see right here, it says do jack shit.
That's
That is
exactly what you're gonna do.
that is my time to watch YouTube, and that is my time to go into the nook and snuggle with Mojo and watch reruns of a show that I've seen at least 100 times. Right? That's my opportunity. That's my opportunity to go to the weed store and get myself a joint. That is my time to go get a snack, because I've been eating super clean lately. It's my time for me. It's my time. That's my time just to chill. And you can kind of see here, like, how the rest of my schedule has gone. You could see where I was like, forget it. I'm like, I'm going to schedule time for me, and I'm going to schedule time for me. And so if you take a look at this, at like Thursday from 6 to noon the next day, is like, that's all. Like, if someone wants to text me, like, you can wait. Someone wants to call me, you can wait. And the thing is, and so the challenge that you're having is more so in presence. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is where boundaries are. And so I operate the same way when it comes to service to others. So when I'm in this time box here where me and Dustin met, that is a time for me to focus on Dustin. Me time is on the bench, right?
Yeah.
And so it is like, hey, if I need to vent, or I've got emotions, or I'm tired, you suck it up and you serve Dustin. And during my jack shit time, if Dustin wants something, he can wait. And so I play both sides of the ball the same. And so you get a Brian says you snagged because you had a J. Absolutely, bro. That's actually why I stopped smoking weed, is because I eat so much. Yeah. So so I play both sides. I play both sides of the ball exactly the same. And so I want you to take a look at the behaviors that you have in service to others. Create in your schedule a time for you to do a mask, to get your nails done, to chill, to whatever the hell you want to do, right? Okay. And when people have challenges, like, you're like, hey, when I'm done with my me time, okay. And sometimes this is really difficult. I had a number of clients, hit me up today. I had a fellow coach hit me up today I do coaching for a Congruent Coach. It's why I'm always in San Diego. And they were like, hey, can we have a chat with you tonight? And I was like, I have a live tonight. So no. Yeah. It's urgent. No. Like, after the live, right? And so we feel when we get this feeling of like, oh, like, I'm getting exhausted by service to others, sometimes we start to resent them, when in fact that resentment is actually a request from your consciousness for you to be served.
That makes 100% of sense. Like, everything that you said is completely correct. And that's one thing that I have been working on is having me time. And I've noticed that I'm a lot more like, I don't want to not talk to people.
You gotta stay clear for me.
Okay. How do I say it then?
I want to.
want to continue to talk to people, like, because that's what I
Mhm.
do on a daily basis.
Okay.
So my attitude tends to change when there's neglected me time.
Neglected. You're always paying attention to something. Your
Okay.
attitude, okay, so your attitude changes. Your attitude changes give me 1 second here. When I desire me time and I give to others, my attitude changes.
Okay. Yes.
When my soul's requesting me time and I give to others, my attitude changes. So here's what the wisdom is in that. Your attitude changing, that negative emotion is a tap on the shoulder to your consciousness. It's a trigger to your consciousness saying you need me time. What we tend to do is we just tend to freak out and just like, act upon that attitude in a way that provokes more chaos and negativity. And that negativity is a gift. It's a gift. It's a signal. It's a request. It's a crying child saying, please pay attention to me. And as
Agreed.
adults, we go from being teenagers to adults, and then going from adult to being enlightened is all about self-parenting. You are responsible for taking care of the child inside of you. And so if you were watching, if you were taking care of a child and seeing that they were being overwhelmed by interactions of all their friends, you would say, okay, it's time for you to take a nap, right?
Yeah.
Being a kind parent and leader to yourself is what that change in attitude is reflecting. And so my encouragement to you is when you feel that feeling, that trigger creates the response for you to plan time for yourself.
Makes perfect sense. And that 5-step process, that's basically what that means, is when that trigger and then you put it into action. It makes perfect sense, Kev.
Awesome.
Well,
right,
thank you very, very much. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. Bye.
Let me know how it goes.
I will.
Join my Facebook group.
I will. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Going to 2 hours and 20 minutes. I knew that David Snyder's community loves these lives. Sam knows. Oh, Sam, how are you? How are you digging this, man?
This is so good, dude.
Yeah, this is I feel like a dog at a dog park with 1,000 balls. Like balls to play with, not like, balls, right? My dog's neutered. Right. Megan says hi. Paul says,
Hey,
sure,
Megan.
sure, dude. Fran says this is gold. David likes to talk. He'll go on for hours. Yeah, me too. I have to run. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. Thank you. Oh, you are so very welcome. You're so very welcome. And Sam, you know how much I love pressure of taking on questions that I'm hearing for the first time while claiming that I bat 1,000. And the thing is, this is what I call the language of God, or the language of truth. Because when you speak in universal truth of speak in a way that reflects that you understand what's true about this existence, it becomes much easier for you to be able to get the answer that you want. This is I'm just the messenger, like all of this. If you guys notice that on these calls, there's very little opinion that I'm giving. All that I'm doing is that I'm asking questions in a container of which you're expected to speak clear. And when we do like a full-blown precise language session, there's even fewer opinions. So Paul asks, I'll put you on mute here, Sam. Paul asks, is afraid of void. Paul, you want to, excuse me, you want to hop on and discuss that? I'm sorry, perfect. You want to hop on and discuss it, Paul? Because what I want to do for you, Paul, is show you how to find out if afraid is a void. I'm going to show you the technique for it. For any word in the world, we can find out whether it is a void or not. So, Paul, you wanna jam? My internet is choppy. Carrie, you wanna jam on this? Could be a representative for Paul. Okay, all right, Carrie, let's get you going. Carrie Pasco. Oh, hey, Carrie. How are you?
I'm perfect, thank you.
Okay. Are you ready to go through the process to figure out if a word is void or not?
Yes, please.
Void or clear?
Yes.
Okay. So the way that we find this out is by fractaling. Okay. And so fractaling is the same process that we went through. Where are my keys? In Chicago. Well, what do you mean by Chicago? I mean in my house. Well, where in your house? Well, in my room. Where in your room? Okay. So we'll try this out. So you say that you're asking about the word afraid. In what context are you feeling afraid?
Well, I was afraid of starting my online business because I'm afraid of failure.
So failure is a void because you're always succeeding at something. So
correct.
Okay. What do you mean by afraid?
Afraid of not succeeding.
Not's a void.
Correct. I'm afraid of not being able.
Not a void.
Ah, see, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Beautiful. I want to achieve certain goals, and I'm aware that I set large goals, and I might be better served.
Might is a.
Ooh, really? Might's one.
Because everything is something. So
beautiful. Wow, I'm really feeling the quantumness of this. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, neat. Oh, wow, this is resonating. Okay, cool. All right, so neato. Okay. All right, okay. All right, so I need to take baby steps. Okay. I'm just realizing that I'm making very large leaps, and I could be better served by making smaller steps or smaller increments.
Okay. What's the big goal?
Putting my business back online. I had it online, but I took it down out of fear.
Cool. What's your, so getting your business back online. Okay. And so what do you need? What needs to take place in order for it to be online?
Take down the maintenance page and publish it back online.
Okay. So you got a pen and paper. You got a pen and paper?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So step one is reactivate your website.
Yes.
All right. What else?
Upload some current content.
Do you have that content in the queue?
I have content I could publish, but it would take me a day to make new content. Yes.
Okay. So step two, publish content that already exists.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, so this is where imagination becomes reality. So in your imagination, I want you to see in time where we have activated that page. Can you see it?
Yes.
Awesome. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so then the next part, you publish the content that you already have. Are you going to schedule publish it, or are you just going to dump it?
I'm just gonna throw it up there.
Okay, fantastic. You've already done that. Can you see that there? It's
Yes.
on the website. Fantastic. All right. Step 3 is you need to create content. Do you know what you're gonna talk about?
Yes.
Cool. Do you have a list of topics?
Yes.
Or is it written or video?
It's written.
Okay. Cool. All right. So so you've got to write that content. All right.
Yes.
So the first, and so how many pieces of content do you want to write?
5 pieces.
All right. Let's start with one. What equipment do you need in order to write that content?
A word processor.
Cool. What do you use? Google Docs, Word?
Yeah, Word.
Okay, Word. Do you have a computer?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Where are you going to do this? You're going to sit in your house and do it?
Yes.
All right. Where in your house?
At my desk.
Okay, cool. What time? What day and time are you going to do this?
I could do it on Sunday.
You could do it a lot of times. When are you going to do
Yes.
it?
See? Oh yeah. I could do it. Well, I will on Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
All right. You're Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You're gonna start this?
Yes.
Hey, Sam, can you do a scheduled post in the identity imprinting group for Carrie? What's your time zone?
Eastern.
Eastern, 10 a.m. So that's 11 a.m. our time on Sunday for her to start writing copy. When you sit down to write the copy, how long is it going to take?
It'll probably take 2 hours total.
Cool. So from 10 to noon, what does it look like when what happens when it is complete? What's the next step?
I have to hit the publish button.
Sweet. Okay, cool. And after you hit the publish button, where is it published to?
My website.
A website that has a particular link?
Yes.
Fantastic. At 12 o'clock in that post that Sam's going to put up for you to remind you to do your stuff at 10 a.m. on Sunday, when you're complete with that, you're actually going to put the link in the description or in the comments. Sound good?
Oh yes, that sounds fantastic.
Okay. So what are you afraid of?
Accountability.
Okay, sweet. We got you on that. You're so trust me, at 10 o'clock, we're gonna be waiting for you. And if it's 10 o'clock and then it becomes noon and we're still waiting for you, you wanna know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I'm gonna call your ass out on Facebook and I'm gonna ask you, Gary, did you get this done? And if you say no, I'm gonna ask you, what were you doing? Where were you physically at 10 a.m. on Sunday? And what were you doing?
Yeah. But you know what? This really actually feels very supportive.
It is. So what are you afraid of?
It really feels supportive and nice to have the accountability. It's the opposite of what I've been fearing, which is kind of cool.
Opposites avoid because everything is something. So
everything is something. I love that.
Yeah.
It has a real feeling. If you really tune into everything is something, it really feels great. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. My question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fear do you have right now of putting your stuff onto or publishing or getting your business online?
It's 0 because I can totally see it was all in my head at this point.
Okay. So is afraid avoid? I will answer that question by saying this. Fear is very real. Fear is very real. And inside of that fear, so afraid is clear. Inside of that fear is the exact step-by-step plan that you need to do in order for you to move forward. Once you build a new relationship with that fear and interact with it in a way that's clear, you actually realize that fear was a gift that gave you a plan to get your business online and new content on your website. Whereas if you, as when you allow that fear to simply just affect your emotions, then it's up to the gods as to when it would get complete.
Yeah, and it was just such a beautiful loop, because now, like you were saying at the beginning, how you have, I forgot your analogy already, but you were saying how you make friends. I think it was the angels and the monsters, or how they both serve a purpose, and you don't fight either one of them. You accept both of them. I know I'm using my own words, but you said something to that effect. And you make friends with both of them, or you accept both of them. Now they both feel like a big hug right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
You are so very welcome, and that's the intention that I have with my coaching is I play a role. I play a role for you to mirror, and the role is I love your monsters. I'm fascinated by them because I know they have answers. And you can speak to them clearly. They have to give you their playbook. What have you been hiding, monster? Hiding is a void. What message do you have to tell me? And what the message that fear was telling you was publish your website, publish publish the content, sit down at your desk at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. on Sunday with your computer on a Word doc, and when you are complete, then hit publish.
Yes.
Sounds like your monster is a fantastic strategist.
Yes, exactly.
Can I take you through a process?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Can you put your hand on your heart?
Yes, absolutely.
Take a deep breath in. And I want you to acknowledge the pain of fear that the monster was projecting onto you.
Got it.
And just feel it. It's very real. It's very hurtful. Creates a lot of chaos. Then I want you to see the outcome that we had here, because you kindly addressed that fear.
Yes.
And I want you to see that the massive amount of value that came from that. Feel into that, and simply just say to your monster, thank you for calling to my attention what I need to do to move myself forward. Go ahead and say that.
Thank you, monster, for calling to my attention what I need to do to move forward.
I hear you.
I hear you.
I will be in integrity of your message.
I will be in integrity of your message.
You may rest now.
You may rest now.
Deep breath in. Scale of 1 to 10. How much are you feeling the fear?
It's wavering between a 1 and a 0. Like it's like, do I really want to let go? It's like a half, like point half. Yeah, 0.5.
That is your monster just kind of like obeying what you just said, but whimpering as he goes back to his room, just being like
exactly.
And as soon as you get into it in integrity, you'll be at a 0, and then you're gonna commit to your next step, and then guess what? You're gonna commit to that, and and in the event that you are outside of your commitment, guess who's coming back to speak to you and give you a loving message through the emotion of pain?
Right.
You're a super intelligent, caring monster.
Right.
And then you just go through go through all the thoughts. Do you feel complete?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I can't wait to see your content.
Cool. Thank you, brother.
You are so welcome. Disable talking. Okay. All right. There is still 100 people on here. Okay. 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 Yes, Elias. Hey, Sam, is this being published on our Facebook group?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Actually, you know what, everyone? If you can just pardon me for one moment, I'm going to double check this to make sure that we're kosher.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So Oh, wow, that's a lot of people in the Facebook group. I'm gonna accept everyone in the Facebook group right now. Approve all. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. Sam, can you please put the link of the Facebook group back in there? We have a bunch more friends in our community. Oh, and everybody, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I got so much more good stuff for you. So much more good stuff for you. All right. Okay. Does anybody else want to go? I would like to get more girl action. How can I get it? That's a loaded one. So actually, you know what? I'm going to take that one. All right. Actually, before, I'm going to say this clearly. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, okay. I have got to, how much will be charged for the scheduled call? $0. Now on that call, we're going to talk about where it is that you're at, where it is that you want to be, and we're going to help develop a strategy on that. And I will give you an opportunity for us to work on a deeper level, for us to be able to help you along that journey. Whether we work together or you do it on your own, you will have a strategy that will help you move forward. So we will certainly make you an offer for us to work together. And we have a pretty extreme vetting process for who we bring into our community, because we really want people that are ready. When you do this type of work, it can bring up a lot of shit. And there are some people that I've spoken to being like, hey, if you want to work with me personally, we need to have a conversation to as if you're really ready. And there are some people that will say, you know what? I'm not ready to deal with that. And there are some times where I may be like, hey, maybe you're not ready to work with me on a one-on-one level, but maybe working in the free group or in our course or in our group program might be best for you. We truly do that first call to do a precise diagnosis of what is it that will help you get to the next level. And so I'm super conscious to not overprescribe or underprescribe doing coaching together, because I want a great energetic match, and I want to make sure that we can serve you in exactly what it is that you want to accomplish. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Neil. All right. So I'm gonna take a quick bio break. So Sam, I'm gonna leave it to you, brother, to chat with everyone. Sam, give them a little bit of your background, and I'll give you guys a little bit about Sam, and then he can go from there. There are only a handful of people that I go to when my mind gets messed up, and because having a mirror, no matter what level you are in clarity, we're designed to connect with each other, because we need each other to see the things see the shadows that may be interfering with us. And there are a few people that I trust on that level. And Sam is absolutely one of them. And so he is an incredible, one of the best precise language practitioners on the planet. And so he's going to do a little intro while I take a little bio break, get myself some water, because I'm done with that coffee right now, and I will be right back.
Yo, what is up, guys? Yeah, my name is Sam Goodman, and so I've known Spencer for I think 3 or 4 years now, and I actually got introduced to him by some mutual friends, and actually I had heard about him through mutual friends before, and I wanted to meet this guy, and hey, what's up, Kathleen? How are you? And yeah, I originally hired him for some personal stuff that was going on in my life, and I think we worked together for 6 months, and then he was developing something in the dating in the dating coaching space, and I was looking to do something in that area as well, and so we kind of teamed up, and built this company called Omega Man. I don't know if anyone here was part of that brand, but we did that for about a year, and then we eventually made the shift into this identity imprinting stuff. And we even used this, like the mechanics of precise language, when we were doing the dating stuff. And that's what really got me to really want to like work with Spencer. And I found this precise language stuff, and I was just like, holy crap, this, he's really got something here. And I want to do everything I can to help him bring this to the world, because I know it, like, I mean, especially now, just everyone needs this, and I think it's so important. So, yeah, welcome back. And it was perfect timing. So I think I did a good little intro there to introduce myself. Oh, wait.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, I got it. Did you put me on mute? Okay. All right. So Sam, did you answer this question? Jason asked, I would love to learn about what helped you learn precise language so well.
Oh, I did not answer that. I guess it was just like, yeah, kind of like what you were saying, kind of like the just repetition of doing it over and over. And once I really learned it, like once I'd been doing it for 2 or 3 months, I noticed myself like just being really conscious of every single conversation I was having, and noticing that I could even, like, if people weren't necessarily speaking in precise language, I could kind of figure out what they were saying by seeing through their void language, if that kind of makes sense. But to answer your question, the way I got good at it was, I got on a bunch of calls with Spencer. We practiced back and forth. And yeah, just repetition. I would practice conversation with my friends even sometimes, and just really getting it down, and always asking like, hey, is this a void word? Or and just getting really clear on the language and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely took some time though. But
Yeah, and Sam, so I started a precise language. It was called the Precise Living Masterclass. It was the first group program I did for precise language, and it was our group program. I believe it was like 8 weeks long. Sam.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
And Sam attended that, and then we started working one-on-one together. And then once we worked together, probably like 6 months.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And after those 6 months of working together as like a client coach relationship, Sam came to me and said, hey man, like, this is something that like I've been looking for. I haven't seen anything like this. Actually, Sam got introduced to the world of mindset and NLP and hypnosis through David Snyder.
Yep.
And Brandon, who's the one who connected all of us. So David Snyder, Spencer, and Brandon's the connector. Brandon connected Sam to David Snyder, correct? Yep. And then after he came back from San Diego, connected him with me. And I remember Sam, you telling me like I was looking for, a mindset coach, healer type, whatever, the transformational mind mechanic, as I call myself. So although you say your words are together positive and precise. Yeah, thanks. It's getting late. So he said, I want to help bring this to the world, and like whatever I need to do. And so we started working together, and he became just like really, really great. And so we've been working together on this project ever since.
Hell yeah.
And it took 2 hours and 46 minutes for my stutter to come in, Sam. Someone called me on my ums.
Not bad.
Yeah, I did all right. Eric says, do you have written instructions, written text instructing what you do so I can learn what you do? So I have a course. I've got a course called Rewire. And in that course, it teaches what I'm sharing with you right now. And in addition to other tools that I've created precise language is like the operating system upgrade. And then there are other applications, if you will, and that is in the Rewire course. I will pull this up for you. And with the Rewire course, when you purchase that, I actually hop on a call with you, either me or Sam hop on a call with you, and we show you how to use the course like in your daily life. So we go through everything, through how to do your weekly planning, to how to do precise language and identity imprinting. These are all other modalities that we have. I'll put a link in it for you guys here. All panelists. Oh no, all panelists and attendees. So right here, the Rewire course is super reasonable. It's $497. My mentors that I have in the coaching industry told me to charge $2,000 for it, and I said that I wanted to create a course that was affordable, so people can use that course as that operating system upgrade and still have money to invest in other strategic programs that will help them specifically with their goals. And really that's what it is. Originally it was called Mind OS Upgrade, which was a mouthful. And so I changed it to Rewire because it truly is a new way of thinking and functioning that just helps you become really productive and joyful and be able to get into flow state. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can enroll into the Rewire course, and we'll do a one-on-one session with you essentially for 45 minutes to onboard you onto that and teach you how to use it in your daily life. And then of course you always get support in the Identity Imprinting Facebook group as you're using it. Michelle, I will see you on Sunday. And the Rewire course is all videos. As I shared with you guys, I'm pretty dyslexic, so it might be difficult for you to read my written instructions on how to do this. And by the way, I say dyslexic as like proud, because a dyslexic doesn't mean that you are, when you are talking to individuals on the web or calling individuals be you opposed to you guys. I'm only one top level mentor, teach you well. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. And here I'm receiving coaching myself. So this is what we call the brain jam exchange. And I'm the one that shares wisdom, and then I also receive wisdom. I appreciate you, Ray. Anybody else? Look through the. Eric asked, do you take apprenticeship? I want to do what you do. Yes, so the apprenticeship comes through joining our Level Up group. And through that you get training. It's an 8-week program. It's anywhere between 2 months and 6 months, depending on like your skill level. And then similar to what we did with Sam, we then can invite you to be a part of the team. Josh did the same thing. Oh, so Tiris says, are you going to help me with my want of more girl action? Yes. Let's hop on it. Find you here. Will the replay be edited? No, the replay will not be edited. It can be edited. What parts would you find value in it being edited? So Tiris.
Hey, how you doing?
Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Fantastic. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. All right, so tell me, so you want more girl action. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I would like to have more girls in my life.
More girls or one girl?
More girls.
More girls. Cool. What are you doing to put yourself in position to meet more women?
I am working within myself, through myself, as in changing. Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Awesome. What are you doing socially in order to meet more women?
Well, currently I can't do much, but
Prior to the quarantine.
prior to the quarantine, I would like to think of myself as a kind of an extrovert, or at least trying to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, I try to talk to at least a stranger on a day-to-day basis,
Mhm.
and that I believe eventually will spiral me upwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're getting out of the house. That's good. You're striking up conversations. Awesome. Next step is, are you getting any contact information like a phone number or Instagram or Facebook in order to continue the conversation?
It's not within 100% success rate, but yes, every now and then I do get some contact information.
Cool. When you get that contact information, does it turn into a date?
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay. So if you're already getting dates, if you are already getting dates, what do you mean by more girl action? More dates?
I think come to talk about this whole thing, my biggest issue would be on the whole closure of the date. As in, I have really developed myself into approaching the girl, getting the whole date thing and everything. But then when the whole closure of the night and leading to, what comes afterward,
Romantic interactions?
romantic interactions, it's where I'm missing the whole point, how to make the closure as smooth as possible, such that it's not awkward.
Well, not awkward is avoid. So you want it to flow?
I want it to flow, yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you letting her know that you're romantically interested in her?
Well, no.
Well, there you
No.
go. that might be a start. That might be a start.
Won't I sound straightforward though?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, it's completely natural for a man to want romantic interactions with women. You can state your intention. You can state your intention while still doing a discovery process to see if you guys are a good fit. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that I'm doing here on this call today. I would love to work with some of you guys one-on-one or in a group. And so like I have every intention to make an offer to work with you guys. And so I made that intention very clear. But when I got on this call to start, I said, this call right here is merely just to serve. I gave a link to my course because someone asked for it, right? They asked for, how can I learn this, right? So you do the same thing. And this is what I would tell a woman, being extremely forward. I absolutely want to sleep with you, but not yet. I don't know if it's a good fit or not. So like, that's still to be seen. And then you go on a couple dates. She needs to know that you have that intention. And when you state a bold intention, so your language is bold and clear, and your actions are patient, that's the secret sauce. Make sense?
I see. It does make sense.
So like, when you talk to her, let her know that you think that she's pretty. so she knows you have, like, it's really that simple. Like, I think you're cute. I want to get to know you. So, and if she's like, are you trying to sleep with me? Yes. I mean, not right now,
But
like eventually.
not yet.
Not yet. Yes. Like, I'm interested. And I want to make sure that it's a good fit, because there's so much more to romantic intimacy than physical attraction and simply being nice. And so far, here's what I know. I'm attracted to you and you're really nice. So next step is like, let's go on a date and see if there's some chemistry. So like when you set the frame early that way, and you set that intention, so intention is direct and clear and actions are patient, that gives her the space. Okay, that gives her the space to feel like, okay, he likes me, I'm okay with that, and I feel safe that like when the time is right, this will happen. Just that simple.
That does make sense.
Mhm. So try that out.
Okay. Just another quick question. When you say want, as in not, I want something,
Mhm.
as in I want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Isn't that a void?
So so there is value to void language. There's value to it. There's value to precise language. Value to precise language is to create clarity, flow, right? To create romantic interaction, there needs to be tension. Void language creates tension. So it can be void and still be good-hearted, right? So like in flirting, void language is very, very useful. And if you notice that I was clear in the beginning, are you trying to sleep with me? Yes, but not yet. So yes, okay, now we're on the same page. I have this romantic intent. No,
That is a
not
void, isn't it?
right. And so I was clear. So now we're on the same page. So the intention of precise language is for you two to have like be on the same page. Once you're on the same page, void language actually creates color, it creates boundaries, it creates tension. So there is value to it. This is a whole nother training. This is a more advanced thing. We before we started doing, well, not before, but we so prior to doing this, I was in the dating, sex, and relationship space for 8 years. So I've got an entire program and catalog for this. If that's something that you're interested, we could have a chat offline about that.
We could. As a matter of fact, I have booked a session with you.
Fantastic. We'll jam on that then.
I'll see you then. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Do I do dating with David? No, I'm single. No, I don't do dating with David. I'm actually a retired dating coach. So I'm a retired dating coach. So Satiris, I do have programs. For that, and if you want some more support on that, that is certainly something that Sam can help you out on as well. Sam is still very active. At the time that he did it, no. David is an OG of the dating game. So I started dating coaching in 2009. I believe David started in 1987. I'm kidding. it was definitely before my time. Certainly before my time. I was in the fitness industry while David was in the David was in the dating industry. Ray, you are very welcome, my friend. And Ray, thank you for, was it Ray? Yeah. Ray, thank you for the kind encouragement to clean up my language. I appreciate that. Always looking to improve. And also, drop a link to those 7,000 words that you wrote that made all the women want to marry you. Fascinated by that. Five years of study. 5 years of study, 7,000 words, tons of women marry you. So anyone wants a formula, there's a formula for you there. There are many formulas, but seemingly that works. Anybody else? Paul says, this has been great. I have to run. Thanks a lot. Stay well. Stay balanced, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Paul, and all the kind words. Heather laughed because David mentioned this. There's 2 periods, so I'm assuming there's something coming after that. Jeffrey, I'm looking forward to it as well, brother. they're all Asian. Okay. I'm more into Latinas, but everyone's got their thing. Or more specifically, racially ambiguous women. This has been incredible. Liddy, you are so very welcome. Certification class. You keep putting 2 periods. Is there more? You got more? All right, we're going to give 60 seconds for up. And can you go over the process of the questions you asked to break down the real problem, please? Here we go. You ready? What do you mean by that? It's a magical question. Find the word where the monster is hiding, find the vagueness, find the void, and ask, what do you mean by that? And just keep fractaling down until you find it. My wife saw them and asked, what is that? Oh boy. But I would assume that's what she would ask. Yeah. All right. Another 30 seconds. David was right. You were amazing, Chiron. Thank you. Carrie, thank you so much for being on the call. Okay. And that is time. Everyone, thank you so much for being on this call. It was a fantastic and joyous 3 hours. Jason, you're so very welcome. Fran, you are so welcome. Everybody, from the bottom of my heart, I love this. Sharing my gift is why I'm here on this planet. And it has been, personally for me, it has been a very long road to get here. Like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. And so all of you being here on this call and all of your amazing responses and questions is my dream. So thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for making my dreams come true by being able to be in service and to teach for a living. I love you all so much. And I will see you all on the calls over the next 3 weeks and in the Facebook group. Thank you so much. Love you all. Peace.